Very good evening, everybody. Welcome back. Kern High Network. This is it. We are so stoked to be here at Ridgeview High School. Vance Palm alongside Rick Van Horn. Kyle Wiley, Kevin Willie is here as well. Todd Bentley is here. Ridgeview High School hosting Frontier High School. Both teams 1-1. Rick, let's bring you in right away. There's always storylines to these football games here on KernHighNetwork.com. There is always something happening on Friday night behind the scenes that not everybody knows about, but sometimes those things that happen behind the scenes, they get put in the newspaper, they get put on social media. Ultimately, people do end up knowing about certain storylines. The big one tonight involves coaching staffs, and I'll tell you what, Rick Van Horn, for somebody that's coached for so many years in this area, it's a pretty cool storyline. It is. It's Coach Bandy, Chris Bandy, former assistant at Ridgeview, now head coach at Frontier High. You know, he and Dennis were partners for about 8 years and did a great job here at Ridgeview, and at a certain time you got to part ways. Bandy takes over a Frontier program that had been really run super well for a long time by head coach Rich Cornford. Cornford now one of our guys on Kern High Network, and so Bandy goes over to the coast last week, has a really impressive first night. Coach Manning 2 weeks ago. Coach Manning 2 weeks ago in week one takes care of business with Stockdale, and a lot of people thought it would kind of be opposite. Just saying early on, some of those early storylines where the Stockdale's going to be a force to be reckoned with, which I still think they will be personally, and that Ridgeview again was in one of the world famous Dennis Manning rebuilding years that we always kind of smirk because he says he's so young and then they win all these championships. But this year, I think both stories are true. Stockdale is a team that's going to be reckoned with, and Ridgeview, rebuilding but still very good, they win that game. So now we have Frontier 1-0, Ridgeview 1-0. Nice football game tonight. Let's talk a little bit of X's and O's. First, we'll start with the Frontier Titans. Rick, what do you know? What do you expect?
Well, I think they're still in the mode to who are their playmakers. They're trying to find a playmaker. You know, they've got J.J. Flores, a senior running back, little guy that was transferred from Bakersfield Christian early on in his career. He brings in an offense that was very similar to what he did at Ridgeview. Watching warm-ups here, it looks like Dennis Manning and the Ridgeview Wolfpack have adjusted their offense a little bit. You might see them under center a lot more than they have been.
That's the voice of Rick Van Horn. I'm Vance Palm. Pleasure to have you with us. Kevin Willie, as always, handling all of our camera work, and our director-producer Kyle Wiley right here. Todd Bentley making sure that Kyle's got what he needs. Stephen Lynch, the Lynch mob, is here as well tonight covering this game. So nice football game tonight. Ridgeview hosting Frontier week 3, and it feels weird because there wasn't a week 2 for us. There were some games that went on, but we did not have a week 2 based on the cancellations of the games with the Heat. So I want to take this opportunity before we get going too far and give a big special thank you to Liberty High School 2 weeks ago. They were our host school when we had Liberty High School there, and they just did such a phenomenal job of welcoming us and hosting us, and I got kind of caught up in the evening. Great game that we had with that Liberty game that I forgot to really publicly thank them. So Liberty High School, Principal Libby Allen, all you and your whole crew, thanks for a great start with week 1. Tonight we're at Ridgeview. Principal Steve Holmes, the Assistant Principal of Instruction Drew Parker, Assistant Principal of Administration Kendra Weiser, Athletic Director Mark Thompson, and Activity Director Jose Valadez. Our visiting school Frontier Principal Vicki Thompson, Assistant Principal of Instruction Carla Stallworth, Assistant Principal of Administration Dustin Green, Athletic Director Mike Gibson, Activity Director Lisa Bolton, and as we always do on KernHighNetwork.com, we stop for a moment and take in our national anthem. You talk about a fired up student section. They were on it saying, Wolfpack, Wolfpack, and then they realized, oh, wait a minute, our marching band has started the national anthem. You talk about a fired up team. Here we go, week 3. And here come the Wolfpack. Let's listen in for a second. Frontier traveled well from the northwest, made a couple of lefts and a couple of right, and drove about 7 miles, and they're here. And as we talked about, always one of the largest cheerleading sections with regard to quantity. They travel really well, great high school, but Ridgeview, they're no slouch either. These stands are packed tonight. They won some championships. They've gone awfully deep in the state title runs. And coaching staff, second to none here. Dennis Manning and his staff have done a phenomenal job over the last, what do you want to say, 9 years. And as far as, what they've put together. And Bandy, as he said in the newspaper article, he goes, I'll be honest with you, I want to really, what's on my mind is making sure we show up well and really perform well and do well. So he wasn't as much about X's and O's as he was, look, I want to come out and do a great job for our school and our program.
Yeah, and that, he wants to, that's his mentor on the other side, Dennis Manning. And so now it's time to, mentor versus teacher, and somebody's got to win.
Well, I'm going to talk to you about that later. That's a storyline. That's kind of why I did that open that way, because it's a storyline that's out there now. So I'll kind of go back and forth to it once in a while. I know you've been in a situation where you've coached kids that are now coaches, and you had coaches above you that mentored you that you ultimately went up against. So it's a storyline that's going to be fun to talk about tonight. All right, that's Rick Van Horn. I'm Vance Palm, Kevin Willie, Kyle Wiley, Todd Bentley. Game 1 here. 2 games tonight going on here in Kern County. Another storyline we can talk about, but it's kickoff time. Frontier kicking off to the purple and mustard, or I always thought there was a mustard color, of the Ridgeview Wolfpack. Titans, white tops, blue bottoms. Week 3 about to be underway here at Kern High. KernHighNetwork.com. Here we go. You can tweet at us, KHSD Athletics, at KHD Athletics. We're on Facebook. Kyle Wiley be at it tonight. It's going to be a big game. Here we go. We're underway. Ball's up. Hit into the corner. Taken at the 1-yard line by Chris Thompson. Nice move with the 15. Thompson still on his feet. And he's finally brought down at about the 22-yard line. Dangerous Chris Thompson. And I was having a little fun talking about how every time I go down in the field and talk to Dennis Manning, well, Vance, we're a little young, rebuilding year, and it's become an inside joke with us. But I think this time he might have a valid point, Rick. What do you think?
He does. He has a young team. I think he's starting a sophomore quarterback, Justin Hinzo, tonight. But the guy that we got to watch is number 6, Elijah Alexander Williams.
A sophomore, Alexander Williams. They're going to go to the air right away. He's flushed out of the pocket, makes one nice move. Look out behind you. Goes down. Gets hit about the 27-yard line. Quarterback, by the way, Justin Hinzo. Another sophomore. Young, but starting at all the key spots.
Yeah, I saw him win warm-ups. He's young, he's small, he's got a sophomore arm, but you can expect that.
In the backfield, Elijah Alexander Williams on a 2nd and 5. We've got flags, we've got movement and motion. Once again, if you're just getting to us, this is KernHighNetwork.com, live streaming coverage of high school sports here in Kern County and Bakersfield. We are at Ridgeview High School tonight, week 3 of high school football here in the Kern High School District. Pleasure to have all of you with us. We were off last week. Seemed weird not to be calling a game on Friday night. 2nd and 10, procedure penalty against the Wolfpack. Another pass play. This time they get it up in the air. And it caught out there to Chris Reese. Reese catches it for 1 yard, but that got him 11 total. Another first down just like that.
Like we talked about, the biggest noticeable difference this year in Ridgeview is they're working under the center. Starting the game here, usually they're in shotgun with, you've had a Lawrence White or a Cotton Moya back there, but now they're under center with this young kid, Henzo.
That's a great point. First and 10, just underway. Ball's handed off to Dalen DeGraffenreid. That's a name we know very well, Dalen DeGraffenreid. He's a junior, about a 5-yard run right in here. So I'm really interested in this football game for a couple of key reasons. One is to see, just how much of this talent has Coach Bandy been able to cultivate since summertime, and Coach Bandy, who is this Frontier Titan team in this second and third week of his coaching tenure here. Oh, a nice hard run right up the middle. And that's...
Well, Coach Manning's got a little Ned Perlmutter in him when he talks about that, because this team in the first week put away a pretty good Stockdale team. So, and Stockdale, it was a good game. Stockdale's got some talent. Now, Frontier on the other side beat a very poor Cabrillo team, so we don't know where they're at yet.
First and 10, ball's exactly at midfield. They give the ball to Miles Eddington. Eddington knocked out of bounds after about 5 yards. So we've seen 4 different ball carriers, 4 different players with the ball handed to them, a couple of different pass plays. So the playbook is open early.
Yeah, and again, we're talking about the adjustments, the difference between this year and last year. They were actually running a little wing T, too. Ridgeview is.
Henzo has the play brought into him by Chris Thompson. Out goes Nick Edwards. It's a 2nd and 5, 9:15 to go here in this first quarter. Just underway. Great to have everybody with us.
Friday night football, don't you love it? Williams.
Handoff to Alexander Williams. Maybe a couple of yards there, but met hard. It's nice to see Frontier just hanging in there. We'll get to some of these names making these tackles, focusing a little bit on the offense right now. 3rd and 1. A couple of big guys up front for Frontier. All right, 3rd and 1, 8.5. Oh, hit hard. Line of scrimmage pushed back.
I don't think he got it.
No way.
I don't think he got it.
No way. So they catch Alexander Williams at the line of scrimmage, hit him hard and push him back. And I think they might have lost a yard. They don't say that he loses, but it's 4th and 1. I like these early little tests, Rick.
Yeah, you get to test the character of your team and both offensively and defensively. Especially Coach Manning running a new offense here. It's coming out in a lot of wing T here.
Timeout taken by Ridgeview head coach Dennis Manning. Gets us a chance to kind of catch our breath here. And once again, welcome everybody here. I'm Vance Palm, joined by Rick Van Horn, Kevin Woolley, Kyle Wiley, Todd Bentley. Pleasure to have everybody listening in, watching in. If you have us on your phone, smart move. If you're at home and have us plugged into your big screen, even smarter move. Ridgeview has a 4th and 1, 8 minutes to go here. Rich, good to see you. You and I cross each other's paths socially, networkly wise, but then we finally get to run into each other and do a game or two.
Yeah, it's been a while. Maybe this time last year here, huh?
Yeah, I want to ask you some questions about the game you covered last week. We'll get to that in just a few moments. VHS had struggle in their first game, but we'll talk about it. Here we go.
Going over this Ridgeview roster, you see a lot of familiar names from years past. I see Edwards and
DeGraffenreid.
Yeah, DeGraffenreid and a couple others on there. The one name I see that's missing is Cotton Moya that they wish they had. Here we go. I think he got it. I think he got the first down.
Elijah Alexander Williams with the carry, and after the timeout, they came out and said, all right, we're going to run a really tricky, fancy play here after this timeout. Right off the one, and boom, 3 yards. So under 8 to go in the first quarter. No score yet. Ridgeview started this drive on the 22. Now they're at the 38 of Frontier. Handoff in between the hash marks. Tackle made out there by David Zavala. Zavala with the tackle.
You know, Ridgeview's got a tough preseason. Looking at that, they've got Atascadero coming up. Excuse me. They've got Central next week, Liberty, and still have to play Bakersfield all in preseason.
Wow. Well, we'll call that last one you called. It's going to be the opener on the new stadium at Griffith Field. Look at this. Titans all over it on a 2nd and 7. They're going to lose at least 3 and make this 3rd and 10. So the running back was DeGraff and Reed, but the Titans were just all over it, and they stopped for about 3-yard loss. Yeah, again, that game at BHS, Ridgeview at BHS, we will be there. It'll be the first game on the new surface. And another storyline, we have a lot to talk about at halftime. You're not going anywhere. I hope you weren't planning on it. Here's the pass, and it is caught.
Pass.
Whoa, what a beautiful throw, and it's caught out there by DeGraff and Reed. Henzo just really took his time, and, well, you can say what he did.
Yeah, that was just a simple in route. Nice throw by Henzo. You know, Henzo impressed me on that throw because I'm watching him in warm-ups, and he really didn't let anything go. He really put something behind that throw.
And right on the money. Now it's 1st and 10. Ball's at the Frontier 25-yard line. Ridgeview just taking advantage of every piece of that clock so far. Uh-oh. Miles Eddington to the outside. Eddington to the outside. Oh, and he's tripped up at about the 10-yard line. Falls down at the 5-yard line. It should be about 1st and goal. So Miles Eddington, we called his name a lot last year, a senior running back DB, and he was so patient on that run. Didn't force the issue.
Yeah. You know, we're seeing a whole different atmosphere on the sideline at Ridgeview this year. It looks like a little more team-oriented. Last year they had some guys that were, you know, it was more of an I than a team. And I think
and we're sold out. And we're sold out here. This place is packed tonight. Big hit, but at least a gain of a yard or two. Again, David Zavala's in on pretty much every hit right now, as well as Gabriel Sepulveda. But 2nd and goal from about the 3-yard line. I'm really in agreement with you on that perception that you have about what you're feeling here tonight. It seems genuine, and everybody's really pumped up. The Ridgeview guys are all packed together on the sidelines, and looks good. 2nd and goal from about the 3. Henzo in tight behind center. They jam it up the middle, and it was awfully close to that goal line. Woof. They're going to say 3rd and goal from the 2-inch line. That was close.
the other thing I see, if you remember working games last year, at this time last year, halfway through the first quarter, we probably would have had 10 flags. Okay, we have 1 flag in this whole first quarter, which is
impressive.
Commendable to the coaches. There it is.
There's the touchdown. So Elijah Alexander Williams gets in.
Elijah Alexander Williams, number 6, touchdown.
The offensive line for Ridgeview, pretty stout. They're a pretty big line right there. There's some pretty big guys.
Excellent block up front on that drive for the pack.
Adrian Villalobos. By the way, a misquote by me. Number 40 for Frontier is Kobe Budak. That is the young Titan in there that's been putting all the hits on. Here comes Ridgeview. Rick, what are we looking at here?
Well, a little swinging gate. They're just going to see how they cover it.
Or will they? They snap it to him.
Alexander Williams.
And it does not work at all. They snap directly to Alexander Williams, and my partner Rick Van Horn is grinning just a bit.
That's a numbers count. So he didn't have the numbers that he wanted. You can see Coach Manning from the sideline saying, if he doesn't like what he sees with the numbers, he was outnumbered, Elijah Smith or Williams there. So he needs to call the other team over, and they go ahead and kick it. But
the latter did not happen.
No, he went ahead and snapped it. Frontier had it outnumbered.
4:49 remains here in this first quarter. We'll stay here. No break just yet. Happy to have everybody with us. 6-0 Ridgeview with the early lead here in the first quarter. KernHighNetwork.com is what you're watching and listening to. Kyle is tweeting out at KHSD Athletics. You can catch us on Facebook. And I'm going to grab Kyle for a few minutes tonight, too, and talk about what's been happening already with our live streaming, what we have around the corner. We had a first volleyball game of the night, BHS of the week, of the year. BHS hosted Highland, and the social networking aspect of it is just unfathomable how many of these kids are reacting within a 24-hour span of an event that we cover, and it's only going to get bigger and better. It's a real joy to be involved in this. Rick Van Horn joining me tonight. BHS Driller, BC Renegade, UNLV Running Rebel, and author. Two great contributions to our community about BHS football and Bakersfield College football. And it's a real treat to have Rick with us. Thank you, buddy.
You're welcome. Love to be here.
6-0, because that 1-point PAT did not work for the Wolfpack.
4:49 to play here in the first quarter.
And the Titans will get a chance to see their offense tonight. Here's kickoff. It's a low one, might take a good bounce, and it does. Ball taken at the 8-yard line. Boy, that's a nice kickoff return right there. Are you kidding me? How about this? Ben Watts, the senior, 5'7", 140 pounds, and he took that perfect bounce and said, I'm out of here. Great field position. Couldn't have asked for a better spot for Coach Bandy to start his offense tonight.
Well, Frontier's got a good size line, too. You were talking about Ridgeview's size up front, and it looks like Frontier can match him pound for pound.
Hard count and great call there. Dusty Montano is the quarterback. He's a junior, 5'11", 160, and he started off with a hard count on his cadence and 5 easy yards. Take him all night.
All night long.
I repeat, who's in the house?
Public address announcer, none other than the very familiar voice of Mark Heffernan.
He gets excited, doesn't he?
It's great. 1st and 5.
1st and 5 for Frontier.
Montano tries to do it again. Little draw play, and nice job. And they get about 2 or 3 yards. Pressure's coming from the Wolfpack. Titans handled it.
By Johnson, 21.
Well, the key to both teams this game is they got to keep the quarterbacks clean. Got to keep the quarterbacks clean, which means they got to keep them off the ground, not taking hits, sacks. And the other thing is these quarterbacks, both Frontier and Ridgeview, their quarterbacks are going to have to help out with their legs. So we need some quarterbacks got to be able to run in high school football.
Montano on a 2nd and 4. Wants to throw. He does throw out to the outside. A real nice pitch and catch with the big fella down there. Boy, some really nice hands by Caden Shelton, the 6'3", 200-pound junior. Well-thrown ball, and boy, that's a load to bring down. But they don't get the first down, 3rd and 1.
Shy of the first down by maybe a yard and a half. 3rd down coming up for Frontier, 3rd and 1 with the ball on the right hash mark.
3:38 and counting here in the first quarter.
Needs to hear from you right now.
3rd and 1 officially. Power eye back there. Everybody dialed in on this run play. They give it to the first one through, and it's a big, strong run. Look at that. Ernest Jackson.
Wow.
EJ. Big, strong run to the 40-yard line. A cloud of dust.
It was.
Literally a cloud of dust at the end of that play. Big, strong run by Ernest.
Jackson, number 7. Big ball carrier for Frontier. Nice push from the O-line.
You know,
down for the Titans, the Ridgeview 40-yard
went to a powerhouse, full house backfield that time for short yardage. You're seeing what Ridgeview ran last year.
Exactly. We're watching Coach Bandy say, hey, I know that works, so I'm going to do it. Run play here to the near side. This time they put it in the hands of Connor Getman. Called his name a lot last year too. Getman, about a 4-yard carry.
The one thing we're going to see, the last 3 years, the winner of this game has put up 40, at least. Actually, last 5 games, last 5 years, the winner of these guys, the winner scored at least 40. So we're going to see some points tonight.
Right now it's 6. That's the score, 6-0. Under 3 minutes to go in this first quarter. And we have a procedure penalty on Frontier, so they'll bring that one back. They've been making some pretty good progress, but they started again at the 40-yard line. So a great start as far as field position, and we're still here in the first quarter. Once again, if you're watching this and you like something you see or you like something you hear, just tweet it. Put it at KHSD Athletics and just say something to the effect of, man, Rick Van Horn is a deep, deep well of knowledge. Here we go. Just inside the short hash, 1st and 15, ball's at the 45-yard line of Ridgeview. Montano, he's in trouble. Look out. Sacked at the 46-yard line, so now they are going backwards pretty quickly.
Johnny Perez, 22. Ridgeview. Great penetration. Big loss for Frontier.
We talked about keeping the quarterback clean.
Second down and
Got a little dirty there.
Yep. And quickly. They got to him quickly there. So now it's 2nd and, 22, 23 maybe.
A bundle, either way.
22 is what they put up there. 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Montano. He's by himself back there now. Has some time. Floats it. Has his man open, and doggone it. Had he not had to go down to get that ball, he would still be running. Caden Shelton again. So obviously a nice relationship there between Montano and Shelton.
Frontier went 5 wide that time. Hit the tight end and a nice little seam route.
With a reception and a slide.
So it puts this 3rd down into a manageable
Coming up for Frontier.
yardage situation.
38-yard line.
3rd and 8. A buck and a half left here in the first quarter. The ball is on the 38. There's one back behind him. Montano takes a look. 2 out to the far side, 1 down here close to us. Has some time, throws it out there, and look out. Ooh, it was caught actually. A really nice catch out there by Colton Baker, but it was almost taken back to the house for a second. Ay, ay, ay.
Is that Nick Edwards, number 2?
Oh, wow.
At the 30-yard line. Good throw by Montano.
They spotted it. The officials call a timeout. Is he calling because he wants to measure?
It's going to be close. From right here, from where we are, I don't think he got it.
Well, to the naked eye on the play, I didn't think he got it. I was impressed that he made the catch. Maybe he did fall forward just enough, but I don't think so. So it's going to be 4th and 1. Ball's going to be at the 30-and-a-half line, I guess, or 30-and-a-quarter. So we've got a quick timeout here. We'll take a quick break. Be back in a moment on KernHighNetwork.com.
Every team trains hard. Every team prepares to win. But when U.S. Army soldiers take the field, it's best if the other guys don't bother showing up. See if you have what it takes at GoArmy.com/team.
First and 10, Rick.
Yeah.
A big, strong power run again by Ernest Jackson. So Jackson has had 2 contributions so far in this first quarter, and both of them have involved multiple Ridgeview players jumping on his back for a ride. 8 yards on that carry.
Looks like he's a load, doesn't it?
Well, he keeps the legs going, too.
Second down and 2 for Frontier. Armstrong, right.
Power formation in the back. 2nd and 2. Hard count by Montano. They give it to EJ again.
First man through.
And I think that
About the 20-yard line.
that is
Here comes the late
Going to be a
flag.
tough order right there. Yeah, and I think so. That's when you see these flags. That's when you see them. Ernest Jackson cannot be brought down so far. We haven't really seen him easily tackled, and I think there may be some pile-on yards here. Oh, boy.
Pierre Morrison and family
Had a
making
big
the
pile up,
tackle
so
for
we
the
couldn't
team.
really tell who's it going to be on. It looks like.
Are those ever on the offense when they're trying to bring the running back down and there's a late hit? Let's see. You never know.
Oh, face mask. Okay.
At the end of the play, a face mask as they were trying to bring him down. So, hey, they were 2nd and 22, and all of a sudden now they're 1st and 10 at the Ridgeview 15-yard line. It's impressive.
So the end of the first quarter here, we've had 2 possessions. Ridgeview had 1, and Frontier's got 1.
All right, 6-0 the score. We will take a quick break, and when we come back, we will get into the second quarter here on KernHighNetwork.com.
Every team trains hard. Every team prepares to win. But when U.S. Army soldiers take the field, it's best if the other guys don't bother showing up. See if you have what it takes at GoArmy.com/team.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I'm a traditional banker. I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
As a millennial, for me, it's all about the mobile.
And I'm somewhere in between. I still do everything online or through an ATM.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. That's why we're the #1 financial institution in all of Kern County.
Take advantage of our low mortgage rates, including 60-day rate lock and no cost to you. Purchase or refinance your home today.
Kern Schools, together we have something special.
This is where we're going to train the kids to actually get jobs in the industry. We're going to give them the basic tools that they need, also the skills that.
Welcome back, everyone. Vance Palm alongside Rick Van Horn, KernHighNetwork.com live streaming of Kern High School athletics. Tonight we're at Ridgeview High School. They are hosting Frontier as we start the second quarter. Ridgeview up by 6 points, but here comes Frontier on a 1st and 10. And they snap it directly to Ty Johnson. He fakes the handoff and just takes off with it. Nice play, great results.
Little wildcat there, and now if you remember, does that name ring a bell?
Ty Johnson?
I think he was a Ridgeview Wolfpack running back last year, if I'm not mistaken.
He's a senior this year for Frontier, and that was a great play. Here we go again. You know, you got J.J. Flores back there standing next to him. And this time they give it to Flores. Flores has some room. Oh, that's a touchdown.
That is J.J. Flores running right, cutting back left, finding real estate.
Titans answer in a big way. They had a 2nd and 22 here about 4 or 5 minutes ago. Going backwards, quarterback sack. Then they hung on, got a 3rd and 1, get the first down. Next thing you know, they score on 2 very impressive plays after the quarter break.
It was, and a very fast quarter, if you notice.
Oh, did he say it? Did he really do it, Kevin? Did he do it? Did he really say how quick the game was going?
Did I jinx a skip?
Oh, my God. Here's the PAT, and look at this, Frontier. Splits it, and it goes through. We'll stay here. We just took a break, so might as well hang out here. On game 2 on the KernHighNetwork.com right now, Shafter High School taking care of business, and they're in the second quarter. They're up 22-0 on the Foothill High School Trojans, and we see a nice play there by Foothill as I'm watching game 2 during the break here at game 1. Thank you, Todd. That's what we're all about, K-Dub 2. Kyle Wiley's got me watching the other game while I'm calling this game.
After that last game he did.
Yeah, Rick. Week 1, you had a long, late game. Don't try to bring that vibe in here and start talking about how fast this game is going. Boy, I was doing.
We just enjoy it, I tell you.
I was doing a Blaze game, Bakersfield Blaze game one time. We're doing a special kind of a magazine shoot with TV station. And I walk in, and it was about the 5th inning, something like that. I walk in the press box and said, "Man, this game is flying." Tim Wheeler and Mike and everybody in the whole press box just looked at me like, did you just say that?
Oh,
and
man.
I promise you, it's God is my witness. That game lasted about 5.5 hours after that. And Wheeler used to tell me, you're not coming in here. You're not coming in here. I said, hey. So, Rick.
Well, I hope we didn't. I hope I didn't jinx us. I'm looking at my clock. It's 8:15. We're in the second quarter. 2 weeks ago, we would have been.
You were getting a sandwich before the game started.
9:30, second quarter started.
Hey, not lost on any of us, though, was the swiftness of Frontier's play calling, their execution. Went back a couple of plays, but they jumped right back in attack mode. And then after the quarter break, they came out with 2 great plays. One was a Wildcat fake handoff. The next was the actual handoff. And J.J. Flores gets the big touchdown. So they're up 7-6. Here comes the kickoff, taken by the Wolfpack. And nice job by Frontier. Dalen DeGraffenried actually is the Wolfpack that pulled it in, so it'll be first and 10 Wolfpack. Want to thank Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, United States Army, PAV Solar and Communication, Premier Lighting, Tony's Pizza, and Raymond's Trophies for the sponsorship and the support, getting behind this great idea and this great concept. We thank you to these great sponsors. Appreciate it very, very much. Wolfpack in their second series of the evening start off right between the hash marks with a run to Alexander Williams, our Tony's Pizza player of the game. We announced that pretty much as we're coming to a close, and we kind of do it by a group committee, but Rick Van Horn gets the 1%. Kevin gets 33, I get 33, and Rick weighs in on that very important 1 extra percent. 2nd and 10. Penzo giving some orders. They hand the ball off in the middle, and nothing doing again. Frontier defense doing their job, staying where they're supposed to stay, Rick.
Doing a good job containing Alexander Williams. He had 174 yards in that first game.
Hey, Rick, how about this news? Carl Jones, we know Carl Jones from Golden Valley, 80-yard kickoff return against Centennial. You talk about the real deal. Look out.
Yeah, I haven't seen him play, but I understand he's a player.
Very good player. 3rd and 8 for the Wolfpack, and they're in trouble. Henzo goes down in between the hash marks at about the 17-yard line. So a big stop by the Frontier Titans. I don't see really anything as far as an exchange of students on and off the field, or do we, finally?
I think they're going to punt it away here.
And now Ben Watts, the dangerous Ben Watts, stands on the R for Ridgeview. Some whistles will stop this punt here. Not exactly sure. I didn't see a flag. The far line judge went and talked to one of the Wolfpack receivers.
Looks like a sideline warning. I'm not sure there against Ridgeview.
Oh, boy. Okay. 9.5 left here in the first half. 7-6. Frontier with a 1-point lead over the Wolfpack right now. It's a 4th and 11. While we're waiting for these officials to put this back together. Hold up. I'll ask you after this. I'll ask you after the return. One man back, and that's Ben Watts. The snap is perfect. A wobbler gets up to about the 38, 39-yard line. Watts thought about it for a minute. Not a bad bounce. So very good field position in again, though, for Frontier. We do have a flag. It's right here in front of us in the near hash. We'll find out what this is. But second offensive possession for Frontier. First one was at their own 45. This one is at the Ridgeview 47-yard line. So they're starting off in a good spot. And I know that can't sit well with Coach Manning. When you're at home, if there's anything you want to do, especially a new head coach, yeah, you know him, but you want to beat him, and he's new at the gig. You want to keep him as far back as possible. But, man, they're starting in midfield.
Yeah, they're starting in great field position. And not only Coach Manning wants to beat him, I'm sure a lot of the kids that no one like Coach Bandy want to beat his butt tonight too.
Let's see what this call is. Oh, personal foul on Titan, so it's going to come back a little bit. And how about this? An 83-yard touchdown pass from Will Alexander to Luke Terrio for Centennial. Golden Hawks get a touchdown, 14-7 with 50 seconds left here in the first quarter. A nice little football game, huh?
Yeah.
Just like this one. It's a tight one. So before we get into this next series, your thoughts on that stalled drive there? Ridgeview really not getting it going, but Frontier also making it happen on D. Your thoughts?
Well, I'm just looking at Ridgeview, and they've come out in the wing T. And this is something that they haven't ran in last 5-6 years. In fact, the last time I think Coach Mandy ran the wing T was back in his Foothill days.
Yeah.
And that was.
Did he run it in West with Matthews?
Well, that was Cornford. And no, they ran more of a Wildcat. Yeah.
Yeah, that was hike it to Ryan and go get 1,000 yards tonight. Right. You're right. Coach Cornford and I actually talked about that 2 weeks ago. Okay, here we go. 1st and 10, Frontier, second series. Look out. Montano throws it. He had severe pressure on him, and he tried to thread the needle to Caden Shelton. And Shelton is obviously one of his go-to guys. At 6'3", 190, he's a junior. He can get up. And he's got those long arms, so that's going to be a target for him, but it didn't work.
Well, they go 5 wide, and Ridgeview, of course, Coach Manning, Coach Manning, they went 5 wide. They manned up, had nobody in center field, and he's looking for that mismatch. It seems like that tight end can run a little bit, so he's going to be matched up with a linebacker.
One back stands back there with Montano. They hand it to that back, and Ridgeview says, thank you, we'll take him, we'll put him down for a loss. And they did. Ty Johnson goes down for a loss, and it'll be 3rd and long, 13 probably, right around there. We're under 9 minutes to go here now in this first half of football. Pleasure to have everybody here on KernHighNetwork.com. You can tweet at us right this second at KHSD Athletics. Get up on Facebook and check us out.
At their own 36-yard line.
Tell us how much you're loving it. 3rd and 12. Montano drops back, and he gets collected and dropped down at the 25-yard line. Wow, the pressure from the big guys up front from the Wolfpack was brutal.
Ridgeview came after him that time. That's the second time they've gotten to him, so they're pinning their ears back in those 3rd and long situations.
By 44,
Pierre Morrison, 44. He's a big kid.
Junior defensive lineman, where's number 44?
I think we got a fumble.
We did, and the reason I didn't call it because the officials didn't react in any way that it was a fumble, so I basically let it go. But no, the ball was on the ground, and it's taken by the Wolfpack. Look out. Donta Mason, a 40-yard touchdown run, his second of the half. West High Vikings lead 17-7 right now. So Vikings are up over Cesar Chavez. Vikings up. How about this? 1st and 10. Here come the Wolfpack. They want to throw right away. They go across the middle. Should have been picked off. And Clayton Kyle right now is like, you have to be kidding me. That ball was dropped right in the breadbasket, and it trickled out of his hands and would have been a huge turnover if the Titans would have got that.
Big turnover. I'm sure Coach Kenny Haslip, who handles the DBs there at Frontier, is not a real happy camper right now.
That would have been a huge boost to that Frontier football team that right now, after a fumble, is facing a Ridgeview offense on a 2nd and 10. Again, spread out wide. They want to go to the air. They do. This time it's tossed over here to Thompson. Thompson wrapped up. So Henzo to Thompson.
Short gain outside the 15-yard line.
Maybe 5 or 6 yards. Maybe we'll see. Oh, they gave him 7 yards. So now it's going to be 3rd and 1.
Well, watching the Ridgeview field goal kicker, I think they're in his range. So he was kicking from the 40, 42-yarders with pretty good accuracy in the pregame.
3rd and 1.
Williams, the ball carrier.
They stay on the ground.
Meanders his way to about the 15.
And that's going to be a 1st down. So Elijah
Guess what?
Alexander Williams picks up the first and 10 from the 15. 7:12 left here in the first half. The score is 7-6. The visiting Frontier Titans have a 1-point lead over this Ridgeview school, who now has got it really packed in tight. It's a run play. They give it to Alexander Williams again. You said they were going to put the ball in his hand quite a bit, and they have.
And Frontier's done a good job bottling it up. He's had his yards so far have been tough yards. They haven't let him get loose yet, but they can't. I don't think they can contain him the whole night.
Nick Edwards comes back in. He's a senior, a receiver, defensive back number 12 for Ridgeview. Dangerous player. They've got DeGraffenried Reed on the far left side, and way out to the top of your screen, Nick Edwards. A lot of options, and they go to Edwards, and it is a touchdown. Perfect pass, perfect touch. Awfully hard to guard. A flag, though.
Number 2, Nick Edwards. Nice man pattern.
Penalty flag on the play.
Well executed by the sophomore quarterback from Ridgeview, Henzo.
And it looks as though the Wolfpack are staying on the field in extra point formation. I didn't say field goal. Extra point formation. All right, the penalty against Titans, it's going to be declined. And here we go again with the PAT.
Well, they missed the first one. Now they're chasing points, so you might see them go for 2 here. But
Jerry Weiss, Montana to Rice. A touchdown, Ridgeview 12-7 right now.
Having a discussion with Coach Manning. The white hat called the penalty. Wanted to come over and talk to Coach Manning about it real quick. The official score at this moment, because of the touchdown being good, is 12-7.
Personal foul, Frontier, so it'll be marked off on the kickoff.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, somebody was ejected.
Wow, somebody got tossed. Ay, ay, ay. Public address announcer Mark Heffernan saying that someone was ejected.
Measured off on the kickoff.
I didn't see anybody leave, but, well, maybe it's 42. I see 42 leaving now.
Oh, wow. Austin Mahan. If that is, I'm not quite sure. Maybe he just got subbed out for. Well, I don't want to have any conjecture involved in this. What I can tell you is 6:23 left here in the first half. 12-7 is the score. Ridgeview just scored. They're down 5. Okay, Rick, talk me through this PAT
All right,
again.
we talked about numbers. Frontier's got 5 defenders there, which is a good number there. So.
They try another trick play, and they try to just skim it over here to an intended receiver and have a huge wall to go back in. 2 unsuccessful PATs. What is successful is this webcast, and we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back right after this on KernHighNetwork.com.
Every team trains hard. Every team prepares to win. But when U.S. Army soldiers take the field, it's best if the other guys don't bother showing up. See if you have what it takes at GoArmy.com/team.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I'm a traditional banker. I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
As a millennial, for me, it's all about the mobile.
And I'm somewhere in between. I still do everything online or through an ATM.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. That's why we're the #1 financial institution in all of Kern County.
Take advantage of our low mortgage rates, including 60-day rate lock and no cost to you. Purchase or refinance your home today.
Kern Schools, together we have something special.
6:23 remaining here in the first half. Ridgeview High School hosting Frontier High School. The Wolfpack of Ridgeview up 5, 12-7. Titans will get a chance to get the football back here with a good chunk of time left here on the clock. See if they can make something happen. Their first series, they had a really nice drive and scored a touchdown. The second, they had a fumble and put the ball in Ridgeview's hands, and it didn't take them long to get in, but 2 failed PATs so far leave them at 12.
Don't you love football?
Kyle Wiley handling all things technical tonight, our director and producer. Todd Bentley to his left, giving me numbers and stats and scores and tweets from all around the community. It's a busy, busy night. Now we see the yardage marked off against Frontier, and the ball is going to get kicked at the Titans' 45-yard line. Yes, the Titans' 45-yard line. So essentially, if I was feeling good tonight and I had it, I could go down there and maybe go for that field goal right there. The ball's at the 45, so any strategy in this? Do you try to maybe pin them between the 15 and the goal line, or just boot it out?
Well, if you're going to play safe, kick it as deep as you can, and you're probably going to get it in the end zone, and they'll get the ball at the 25.
Let's see.
Fabian, kick it off.
Just went ahead and booted it, got it out of there, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Frontier Titans. Once again, we want to make sure we express our gratitude to the Kern High School superintendents, Dr. Brian Schaefer, the superintendent, Assistant Superintendent of Instruction, Dr. Brenda Lewis, the Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services and Innovative Programs, Dr. Dean McGee, and the Director of School Support Services, Stan Green. Thank you to these 4 individuals, these visionaries that are the reason we were able to put this on. And, of course, Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, U.S. Army, Path Solar and Communication, Premier Lighting, Tony's Pizza, and Raymond's Trophies. Whistles before the start of this 3rd drive. A lot to talk about at halftime.
I think so. We got a good ball game here, though. We got 6 minutes left, and the way it's been going, Frontier's going to. The way it's been going, you're going to get a good little march going back, and Ridgeview's answers, and so.
See if Coach Mandy can get some yardage and control this clock here and keep the ball out of Ridgeview's hands the rest of this half. That would be what the doctor ordered, I'm sure. Still haven't started the play yet. Very deliberate. Officiating crew making sure that we're all ready to go here. Start the next drive. Boy, a handoff, and I'll tell you what, Ty Johnson just shoots out of that backfield, eh?
Ridgeview knows him well.
5, just like that.
Ridgeview playing a lot of man coverage, so Coach Mandy's going to have to take his shots down the field, you know, and try to exploit some mismatches.
Touchdown 6.
Montano hands the ball off again to Ty Johnson.
Hit hard with 25 and driven down.
Big contact, and I don't know if they got anything out of that. It's going to be 3rd and 5, so big 3rd down here for the Frontier Titans.
Hodges in on the tackle for Ridgeview.
2 straight tackles by Brandon Hodges, number 4, defensive back. Super talented kid. Here they go, Coach. Johnson, the lone back. Hard count, and they may have picked it up the cheap way or the easy way. We'll take it. And look, Montano's proven that he's good at it. He's got that in him.
Yeah. Again, I don't think it's going to give him a 1st down, but it's going to be 3rd and about 1. Nope. Move the chains. I'll be darned.
Encroachment against Ridgeview.
When the Bakersfield College Renegades won the state championship in 2012, the quarterback Burrell, he was just a master at the hard count at the exact perfect times, and it really can be a demoralizing tool if you can use it the right way, and Montano did. They picked up a 1st down when they really needed one.
It's a great weapon, and the more he does it, the better he's going to get at it. It's a big drive for Frontier. They have to answer Ridgeview score. If they don't, and Ridgeview comes back and scores again, it could get away from them.
Look, if you're a fan on the couch right now and you're thinking, look, just get a field goal. I mean, that's fine. Even you just put 3 up there, and it's a 12-10 game. If you're a Frontier fan, you want more. Here we go. 2 receivers down here in the bottom of your screen, the wide side of the field. And they stay on the ground, though, and they give it again to Ty Johnson. So Coach Banny not making any secret that he'll go to TJ as much as he can.
He will, and him being from Ridgeview last year and the relationship he has with the players. You can see a little John out there, not too much.
Here we go, 3rd and 3, and they're absolutely in punt territory, so this is not 2-down territory. They're going to need to get this one. Look at Ridgeview bringing everybody, and they did it again. Now, Ridgeview might try to say that the left side moved of the offensive line, but I don't think so. When you see with 3 of the Wolfpack jumping in there, the official didn't even discuss it. Another first down, Rick. For an offensive coordinator, head coach such as yourself, if you're on the positive side of it, boy, it's nice to move that ball down the field without contact. But if you're Coach Manning, it's just driving you crazy.
Well, we've seen it in the past,
1st and 10. No guesswork there. Ty Johnson just pulling players. He was hit at the 44-yard line. He went down on the other side of the football field at the 45-yard line. Just pulling players with him. First down, Titans, 3.5 to go in the first. Back into the ball game, Pierre Morrison, he comes back in. That is one large young man. Wears number 44. He's going to stand right on the left side of the defensive line, the right side if you're an offensive player. And they're loading up on that side.
First down, Titans.
Montano takes the snap. And it's handed off to Flores. Look at Flores go. You've got to be kidding me. He was stopped in the backfield, completely down, reverse direction a la Marcus Allen. And then the afterburners come on. A huge run. I thought he was done. I thought it was over.
I tell you what, don't underestimate Flores. He's a great track runner, one of the fastest kids in town in the 100. Great speed, great balance, and you see by that run there.
Are they bringing it back? Oh, no. Ridgeview players have not moved from where the football is, which is the 18-yard line. Here comes the call. Defensive holding. I don't know if it was.
Well, holding on Ridgeview.
I don't know.
Declined by Frontier.
Either way, it's going to be turned down, right?
I think so.
First down run.
Yeah, they're going to decline this. And at the 3-minute mark, exactly left here in the first half, we went from talking about them needing to score, they might score too soon.
They might, and give Ridgeview too much time. A lot of free yardage in this drive,
You're
though.
Sure right.
You're
You're sure
free
right.
Yardage.
Okay, now they're back in the Wildcat situation. They have Ty Johnson and they have J.J. Flores. Johnson fakes the handoff to Flores, keeps it himself. He's a tough load to bring down. Flag on the play. Will the touchdown count? I don't know. Don't know.
Looks like it might be in the holding area.
Right in here.
Bring it back.
A hold's going to bring it back, and Ty Johnson is probably going to say, hey, I didn't even need it. I had it. No touchdown. So with 2:47 left in the first half, it gets called back. 12-7. Nice football game going on here.
Didn't hurt Ridgeview's feelings that a flag was finally thrown on Frontier, did it?
It did not. First and goal from the 17-yard line. They snap it to Johnson. Same exact play. Fakes it to Watt. And he gets at least to the 10, maybe the 9-yard line. So a big, strong run. Didn't change a thing on the play call.
It's been working well, this Wildcat, with him and Flores in the backfield. You've got a good combination. You got speed on the outside by Flores. You got some power by Ty Johnson. And, they're second and goal from the 10.
Timeout on the field, 2:28 last week you went down for the KernHighNetwork.com's live streaming game of Bakersfield High School. They were down south. You had Dr. Louis Amastoyakovich with you. Talk us through some of that afternoon.
Well, it was a long afternoon for Bakersfield fans, I tell you.
You're a driller, too.
I know. I predicted a 45-7 victory for the Bakersfield High Drillers, but they got schooled down there. And ended up running clock in the fourth quarter.
Dude, how many times? When have you heard that? When's the last time you heard running clock against BHS? And look, it happens, Coach. It happens. Things. I mean, you look at you look. Hey, it was a tough weekend for you, the Running Rebels, and you're talking about a historic game that Vegas loses, and the Drillers didn't have the best weekend. So, but your thoughts on your Drillers overall, though, coming into this year?
They have all the talent in the world. Coming back, and they had a lot, especially at the skill positions. So their line was their question mark. They still haven't gotten the groove. I don't know. I didn't see the Edison game, so tough to see what happened. They won 16-0, but this game they were just everything was out of sync. And can't take anything away from Orem. Orem just played a solid game, stepped up, and kind of challenged the Drillers. We're taking away your run game. You better throw the ball, and they just couldn't do it.
Look forward to late September. Ridgeview will be at Bakersfield High School, the first game of their new playing surface. And I drive there every morning at 6 a.m. to drop off one of my girls, and I see it, and it's going to be beautiful. Can't wait. Okay, after the timeout, 2nd and goal from the 10, and they give it to Johnson, and he barrels his way in. No flags yet. Touchdown, Frontier. It is 13-12. What a football game we've got going.
Ty Johnson, the main ball carrier in this drive for Frontier.
Boy, this Ty Johnson is something. I tell you, he's having a great first half, and he's running with a little vengeance, isn't he?
Well, Connor Getman, they put in motion from the right side. He runs right in front of Johnson before the snap. And so you have him blocking for you on the left side. That is a seriously potent option. Here's the PAT. Snap, the hold, the kick, and it is up and good. How about this? A 14-12 lead for the Frontier Titans.
Johnson's got a good blend of both power and speed, doesn't he?
Well, and then as you talked about, you've got J.J. Flores. You've got the speedster. You know what this reminds me of? Reminds me of last night, Kansas City Chiefs. They have all those key spots, those super talented guys, but their offense has always been one of, just take it easy, play it safe, kind of keep it between the hash marks. Let's try to grind this thing out. Yeah. All of a sudden, they're using these options, and then you've got Alex, who just finally said, you know what, I'm tired of becoming a game manager. We're going downtown 2 times. So it kind of reminds me of that with Frontier. They've got Flores. They've got Ernest Jackson. They've got Ty Johnson. They've got, I just mentioned Getman. So Frontier, here we come.
Well, they've always had, the past years, they've always had a bevy of running backs.
Rick, we've got some scores while we're waiting for play to resume. Let me see what we got going here. Second quarter, the Golden Hawks, Centennial up over Golden Valley, 14-7. How about this? Central 17, Liberty 3 at halftime. Stockdale 21-0 in the second quarter over Tascadero. Second quarter, West over Chavez right now, 17-7. Independence 3-0 at Arroyo Grande. Second quarter at halftime. The Highland Scotsmen up 21-6 over Kennedy. At Miramonte, East has 20, Miramonte nothing at half. North over Wasco, 14-0 in the second quarter. Right now it's 14-12, the game we're at. Frontier, 2-point lead now, 2:21 left here in this first half. Here's the kick, it's up, and it's going to be taken well inside regulation. Chris Thompson. Now it's DeGraffenried that has it.
DeGraffenried up the middle.
And hard hitting. Brought down, I think they're going to give it to him about the 20. I think forward progress might be at the 20. So nice football game. Exactly kind of what we thought it would be, a good matchup. It's 14-12 as we're getting ready to come into the first half.
Yeah, and we've one turnover, one fumble, And pretty clean game other than that second quarter, and Ridgeview having a couple of penalties and giving Frontier free yardage in that one last
keeping
drive.
the drives alive.
Yeah.
Henzo wants to throw on first down. Flushed out of the pocket. He comes right here next to us. Stops, throws across his body. Good pass. Really nice job of kind of weighing out all of his options. Kind of drifted over here, didn't panic. Fires a bullet. And it's a first down.
That's good. Good job by Henzo, keeping his eyes downfield most of the time. And once a quarterback, especially high school, they come out of that pocket, their eyes are downfield on that grass, ready to run, and he kept his eyes downfield.
Under 2 to go here in the first half. Henzo, they go to the air again. Caught by DeGraff and Reed. A big hit, a huge hit by Jacob Gomez. Wow. That even elicited some oohs and ahs from this home Ridgeview crowd. That was a big hit by Gomez.
1:35 on the clock here in the first half.
2nd and 2 or 3, I guess. Standard set behind center. Floats it out, and it is caught. Oh, goodness. Threw it out to Chris Reese here. J.J. Flores, we talked about his speed on defense, but he kind of allowed that play to evolve.
Well, he got out there late. Henzo saw that and just checked it and threw that quick fade out there, and Ridgeview made a nice catch.
1:22 left here in the first half. Now Henzo goes to the air, and great play out there by Gomez. That could have been a lot of problems for the Ridgeview Wolfpack, but knocked down.
Could have been 6 the other way. So Ridgeview's got some time. 1:17. They've got 2 timeouts left. So
one of the many perks of calling games with Rick Van Horn. I love hearing him voice out. Don't keep it in. Talk it out. I want to hear the thoughts, man. Henzo drops back, looks right, then left. He's in trouble. Can he get out of trouble? I don't know if he can. Oh, what a great. Oh, and he throws the ball. What in the world?
I think that's going to be a forward pass.
Well, he was wrapped up. And
excellent pressure by Frontier.
Carson Woodholm, number 25 for Frontier, had Henzo in the grass, had his wrist wrapped around his jersey, but at the very end, Henzo just let it fly. Incomplete pass, 3rd and 10.
Young sophomore mistake there. Hey, go ahead and eat it. Live to fight another day. If he wouldn't have, he was lucky it didn't get picked off.
Okay, here we go, 3rd and 10. Henzo, quick drop, takes a look, fires across the middle, has his man. Oh, goodness. Had his man, and that was Dalen DeGraffenried, and that would have been certainly a huge, big first down, maybe more. And with 1:02, clock stoppage now, 62 seconds left in this first half. It's a 4th and 10. It's at the Frontier 42-yard line. No sign of anybody coming out for the punt team. Coach Manning may be thinking, hey, if we don't get the first down, less than a minute to go, keep our defense on there. And we see the quarterback himself break out of the sideline huddle. Henzo rolls over there.
Well, that last play, Frontier manned up. They must think they've got some confidence in those DBs there to match up against the Ridgeview.
And now
receivers.
The whistles blow, and certainly we get a timeout called. And
timeout, Frontier.
I love timeouts when I get to talk about Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, a name synonymous with supporting student athletes throughout Kern County. Thank you to Kern Schools Federal Credit Union. How about the United States Army? What a sponsorship relationship we have with the United States Army at these football games. They're passing out stuff to these kids. They've got a halftime event coming up here. United States Army, thank you so much. How about PAV Solar and Communications? We went to PAV, and PAV said, absolutely, I'll get behind you guys. Love the idea of being able to be at one game across the city and have my phone on and my earplugs and listen to Rick Van Horn. I'm into that. Premier Lighting. Thank you, Premier Lighting. Hey, by the way, Premier Lighting, if hopefully you're listening, I'm sending somebody your way tomorrow, Saturday. They're coming to get a light from you. You know who it is. Tony's Pizza, our Tony's Pizza Player of the Game. We will award our Tony's Pizza Player of the Game. They get a gift certificate for some food at Tony's Pizza, and they get a nice T-shirt. And we will announce our Tony's Pizza Player of the Game and Raymond's trophies. You kidding me? That name is Kern County Sports. Here we go, 4th and 10. Whistles blow ahead of time.
Looks like we had some movement on Ridgeview.
Oh, boy. So now it's 4th and 15, and it was movement by Chris Thompson, the receiver at the bottom of the screen, right in front of the official. And that was an easy call to make because Chris Thompson was about 3 feet away, and Chris just patted himself right in the chest and said, that's on me. Sorry, guys. But now it's 4th and 15. Interestingly enough, the ball is pretty close to midfield with 1:02 left.
Looks like Ridgeview's going to take their last timeout.
You can see Coach Manning, the shoulders shrugging a little bit. He's not feeling it right now, and it's week 3, but only really the second game due to last week's cancellations. And Frontier, I can't read their minds, but I have to be thinking on the road. Coach Bandy's debut against his former team, they're up 2 at the end of the first half. They're probably feeling nice.
Yeah. You know, Coach Manning's got a decision here. You go for it here. If you don't make it, you give Frontier great field position, or you go ahead and punt it away and play a little defense.
I'm Vance Palm. That's Rick Van Horn right there. To my right, to my far right, Kevin Willie. To my immediate left here is our director, producer, and the coordinator for Stan Green and support services at the high school district. And to my far left, Todd Bentley. Todd and I were regaling about our geographical connection. Very close to God's country. Todd's close to Arvin, man. He's close to the Garden in the Sun, Rick.
He's a bear, huh?
Wow.
He's a transplanted bear?
Yeah, exactly. Here we go. Okay. 4th and 15. Henzo drops back, lets it fly down the far side. No flags anywhere, broken down. So it was intended out there to the speedy Nick Edwards, but double coverage in that 4 corner. Hey, Rick, 55 seconds left here for Frontier.
Yeah, that's what we talked about. That was a decision Coach Manning had to make, you know, whether you punt it, play defense, or give Frontier great field position, and they've got great field position.
So, Titans on their own 46-yard line. Now you have Coach Bandy thinking, all right, well, look. Just under a minute to go. We're at midfield. Let's see what happens.
That should be a lot of fun.
They have 1 timeout. No, they have 3 timeouts. Montano hands the ball off.
On the left side, probably goes back to the line of scrimmage. Good D by Ridgeview. Number 21, Ty Johnson.
Well, it looks like
Brent Hodges, number 4, number 22, Jolie Barrett.
I think looks like after that first down play that Ridgeview's just going to let this clock run, but we'll find out here if they take a shot right here. They may take a shot here. If they don't get it, then they'll just run it out.
18 counting, maybe it. Well, they're trying to make it one more play here. Coach Bandy's content with a 2-point lead right now. They give it to Ty Johnson. Ty tries to get out of bounds. Oh, look at him. 6 seconds.
Ty Johnson inside a 35-yard line.
So 5 seconds on the clock. Did he get out of bounds, Rick?
I think he did.
Wow. Now they take a timeout, and they have 1 timeout left. And when we go to break at halftime, we will take a significant break. Rick and I are going to talk about some things when we come back. We'll come back in a few. Got a couple of topics I want to talk to Rick about during half. But I'd like to remind you, while we're at halftime, you can go over to our other game on KernHighNetwork.com. It's Foothill at Shafter. Right now, Shafter's taking care of business up there. Coach Perucci's up there doing a good job, leading 28-0. But you can see some of that action by going to the KernHighNetwork.com website and watching that. And then Rick and I will come back and got a couple of topics I'd like to talk to Rick about as we drift into September in the midweek section of our life. We get ready for high school football about Tuesday, Wednesday. We start thinking about these games and start going over stats and looking at numbers and start figuring out what's going on. Then dab smack in the middle of the week, the Kern High Network goes out and does some volleyball. Next thing you know, It's Friday night. We're here in second week in September, week 3. We're right around the corner, Rick, from those games that start making history
and meaning something. Yeah.
Right.
Well, you remember last year, Ridgeview started the season 1-4.
You're
and
right.
Then they made that run, and of course, made it to the section championship.
With 5 seconds, everybody on the line of scrimmage. Montano drops back. Ridgeview comes at him. He flushes out. He's got to launch it. He throws it. It floats. It's in the end zone, and it is a touchdown. He catches it.
It's caught by Frontier.
Colton Baker.
I believe a touchdown. Looked like Ridgeview came up with a
at the end of the half. No flags.
And they're calling a touchdown Titans.
20-12. Rick, everybody was in that end zone.
And it looked like a couple of Ridgeview guys had a good shot at that ball, didn't it?
Wow. It's in the books. No flags. PAT with 0.00 seconds, so it's 20-12. Oh, goodness. Last play of the half is a PAT. The snap, the hold, the kick, and it's pure. Look at this, 21-12. Frontier out in front at halftime. We will take a break. We recommend you go watch the Shafter Foothill game on KernHighNetwork.com. We'll be back in a few minutes. A couple of halftime subjects to talk about, but right now, the big storyline, Frontier up 21-12 at half. Back in a few moments on KernHighNetwork.com.
Every team trains hard. Every team prepares to win. But when U.S. Army soldiers take the field, it's best if the other guys don't bother showing up. See if you have what it takes at GoArmy.com/team.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I'm a traditional banker. I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
As a millennial, for me, it's all about the mobile.
And I'm somewhere in between. I still do everything online or through an ATM.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. That's why we're the #1 financial institution in all of Kern County.
Take advantage of our low mortgage rates, including 60-day rate lock and no cost to you. Purchase or refinance your home today.
Kern Schools, together we have something special.
This is where we're going to train the kids to actually get jobs in the industry. We're going to give them the basic tools that they need, also the skills that they need to understand where they fit into the industry.
All the animated things, because we have everything that we need in the scenes.
They are learning the principles of animation, Photoshop. They're learning how to animate in 2D and 3D. And when you swap to that shape, then you're just going to drag these over here.
The storyboard aspect of creating basically the skeleton of the story, and then just sort of directing people on my vision of what I want in the story. And it's also giving me the advantage of Mr. Pollard, since he's worked at so many companies, being able to put it in my resume and be like, this is the art direction I've received.
We're learning a lot about how mobile apps are made, the programming and coding that goes into it, along with the time and effort. Along with that is also the entrepreneurship of the class, learning how to run our own business.
We're also learning basic marketing skills, people skills, graphic design, and social media marketing so that they can freelance, they can work on their own, they can apply for a job, they can go to BC or Cal State or any other university who offers programs that are specific within the mobile app development concentration or business concentration.
With my future and career, I do plan on being somewhat of an entrepreneur, owning my own business, sort of a clothing brand line. And so this will definitely help me out with possibly an app for my company, and the entrepreneur part helping me be able to run my business as smoothly as I can make it go.
the different roles, what a game designer is, what they do, and how video games are made, and how to deconstruct them.
We're also going to be teaching the hard skills, which includes learning the Unreal Engine. And what the Unreal Engine is it's a game development tool that students will be able to use to make their very own video games. And this is something that actually industry professionals use every day to make some of the top-selling games. They're all the same size. You're all on the same plane. There's no undulating terrain or anything like that.
Our instructor, he's really amazing. He encourages everybody. He's really fun, and he makes learning fun. So they've got top-of-the-line computers here, and they're set up to excel. I would be surprised if other students their age coming out of high school would have anywhere near the level of expertise that these guys are going to have.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Vance Palm here. 4:22 left in the first half. Timeout. And gives me a chance to talk to Kyle Wiley, our director, producer. Kyle, we've got a lot going on, but first let's talk about this football game tonight. You have been feverishly getting out things on social networking, but your thoughts on the game?
Well, it's kind of a shock a little bit to see how effectively the Titans are running the ball. Ty Johnson is running with high knees, kind of like a Roger Craig style, running hard, and Vandy is dedicated to the run, we could see, and he's not doing too much, except at the end of the half. I mean, sometimes you got to chuck it up, and the way the Titans are playing, it's rolling their way right now, and that's a huge momentum shift for the Titans as they get the ball back to start the second half.
Wednesday night started our volleyball season.
Absolutely.
We have how many games? 8 total. I think we've got 8 on the docket there. Next week we've got another big volleyball game.
And so the reason behind that, Vance, is we're kind of doing volleyball like we did football last year. Just sparked that interest out there, and we had huge numbers as far as data on Twitter and even viewership watching it. So next year our goal for volleyball is that every team gets recognized. Like this year in football, we're getting every team recognized. So they have their moment in the sun, their spotlight. So this next Wednesday, we got a big one, and it's going to be Clovis North at Liberty, and we're going to be there for that, and that's a big game to see how Liberty's doing.
It's the voice of Kyle Wiley, our director and producer, and the official title is coordinator of school support services with Stan Green. But boy, he does a lot. You and Todd are out here very early getting this thing set up, getting it rolling. We've got viewers, we've got listeners, we've got people that are on it and watching us and tweeting us and interacting with our actual live streaming. I want to ask you about wrestling. I've already been hit up 2 times now, 2 different times by 2 different people saying, tell me you're doing wrestling again. And I said, we're doing wrestling. Quick little shot about wrestling.
I've already talked with our wrestling extraordinary insiders, Brad Hull and Daryl Pope, and they're full board ahead with doing wrestling and getting out there, and hopefully we can continue to do what we do best and looking at the SWYL championships. But we're going to try to expand to all the leagues this year and get a little flavor for all that. And we're going to do girls wrestling this year. That is a commitment for us that we're going to try and do. So,
excellent.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kyle, superstar, thanks for getting us going. Let's get it back over to Rick Van Horn. Rick had to take a call from one of our fans. He was like a live call, and they wanted to talk to Rick Van Horn. And I'm going to ask the same question they were asking. Your thoughts on this Frontier football team?
Well, I tell you what, I like what I see. Just like Coach Manning said, they're a little young, and Ridgeview's showing in their play. I was very surprised that this is the same team that put a good whipping on Stockdale 2 weeks ago. That Power League, the Southwest Yosemite League may be very competitive this year. You've got Liberty up, you've got Bakersfield looks like they might be beatable and not the invincible machine. You've got a Frontier and Centennial and Stockdale all able to step up one night and knock these Liberty and Bakersfield in the mouth.
Your sacred hallowed ground of Griffith Field, close, getting real close. Ridgeview will be there for that game. We'll call that game. When a project like that gets started, so many decades of drillers are able to watch it, and I've seen on social networking and also through just conversations, it's a big, big thing to have that football field transformed.
It is. It's and Louis Avastoy and I talked about this last week. It's kind of mixed emotions. It's 94 years old, and a lot of players have gone through those old turnstiles, and now it's a whole new venue, and we just got to kind of embrace it and hopefully we can warm up to it.
That's an important point. You think about all the players that have played there throughout the years, and that was part of the charm, that come December, you're going to be playing on a rough surface, and it's going to be a tough little deal here. But I must tell you, Rick, it's just absolutely beautiful. I mentioned earlier I drop my kids off there. When I go there early in the morning, it's not really crowded yet. You get to see that surface, and it's going to be a great thing. The Drillers' new home field. And you bring up a great point about, Centennial, Stockdale, Frontier, battling to get back in this thing. We've got some football games coming up in the next few weeks here on KernHighNetwork.com where we're going to be able to show you these teams. I know next week, I think you and I are going to be covering the East Side rivalry, East at Highland. I look forward to that.
Big game next week, yeah.
Kyle, what game you got? You like my English from the Kern High School District? What game you got? Miramonte at You're going out to God's country. Garden in the... Say, some people go to Arvin and they just say, I found it. This is it. They stay. That's it. Kevin, I didn't ask for your comment. I didn't look for a comment for you. You were not part of this whole thing I said, but you look over, incredulously. So, Kyle, Miramonte at Arvin. Then the following week, it's one of those weeks where we're going to really make sure that 4 different schools get some exposure and get on KernHighNetwork.com and say, Mom, we're playing that game. Make sure you get your phone, get you going in there. And then the next week we'll have Ridgeview at BHS, and we start getting into October football and get ready. Kyle's got some scheduling challenges, good challenges, because all really good football games and meaningful games. Centennial 21-10 over Golden Valley at the half. Central, and yes, they're for real. They're ranked number 1, and their volleyball team's no joke either. They're up 24-3 in the third quarter. How about this? The Mustangs, Stockdale, up 21-0 over Atascadero in second quarter. At halftime, up on the hill, Garces 14, Tehachapi 14. Nice football game there, Rick. Independence High School, 21 over Kennedy, 6 at half. Miramonte, East 29-0 over Miramonte. So a lot going on.
North 26, Wasco 8.
In the second quarter. And then Arroyo Grande.
3-3. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Central must be for real. They've got some players. They still have to play this Ridgeview team in the next within the next 2 weeks, don't they?
Last time I saw Central, I was up there for the Valley Championship last year in the freezing cold. That was one of the most memorable games I've ever seen. Zach Ewing from the Californian won an award for his story on that game. That's how serious that football game was, and it was pretty incredible. Here we go. Central's going to play. They're going to host Ridgeview at Fresno on September 15th, and then they'll come right back and start off at the new Driller Field right after that. So you mentioned it. Dennis has put together a formidable preseason schedule. And
well, they usually do, and they play some tough teams, getting them ready for that South Yosemite League.
Hey, he's got his hands full now. They're kicking off to a Frontier team who is going to take it at the 5-yard line, and it's J.J. Flores. Look out for the speed of Flores if he gets to the outside, and he does. He's at the 40, puts a big move, lowers the helmet, and a huge hit on the kicker. Well, that had everything. Speed, big hit, and a hold call on Frontier. They're going to march that back.
Man, that hurts. What Ridgeview doesn't want to do now is give up a 2-for-1. Basically, what that is Frontier scored right before the half.
Yep.
Get the ball back and score again. And 2 scores in a row is going to really put a damper in Ridgeview's plans.
Well, that big run back from Flores is pulled way back to the 17-yard line.
On the kickoff return.
So big play, big run back, but big flag, and they'll start it way back on the 17-yard line, they say. Here we go, 21-12, Frontier leads by 9, and they'll start off this series. Montano goes for a hard count, but no, the running back moved, and that was Ty Johnson waiting for that ball to get snapped. And
well, 2 plays, 2 penalties.
First half stats, Ridgeview High School, their rushing was 63 yards. They passed for 61 yards. And for Frontier, 63 running yards, 85 passing yards. So really not any eye-popping stats, but the big number is 21 points.
It is. Here we go. Hand off to. Is that the big boy?
Yeah,
nope, it's Ty Johnson.
Well, I consider him one of the big boys.
Yeah.
Not Ernest Jackson, no, but it was Ty Johnson. So when they start this third quarter, they're kind of stepping on their toe here with that big holding call, and then now it's going to be 2nd and 15, just underway here in the second half. Vance Palm here alongside Rick Van Horn, Kevin Willie, Kyle Wiley, Todd Bentley. We are Crew 1 for the KernHighNetwork.com's live streaming coverage. 2 games going on tonight. Here's a sweep out here to the near side. Johnson, rarely does he go down on the first hit. Most of the time it's on the 4th or 5th hit. And it's not just that he's hard to tackle. He can also bring it and deliver it.
He can. Tough kid. We've seen him. You know, this is not his first rodeo in varsity football.
How about this? A 3rd and 8. Ridgeview right now digging in, saying this is a must right here as we're into the third quarter now. And they trail by 9. 21-12 Frontier. Montano in the short shotgun. 2 receivers way out to his left side. He looks there first, wants to throw there, flings it. It's picked off.
Oh, my.
DeGraffenried was waiting, read it. The telegraph by Montano delivered it right into the hands of Dalen DeGraffenried, and there's a quick score.
There's a quick one. Pick 6 there, and he almost had one in the first half.
Right. Maybe possibly some discussions at halftime about certain scenarios. He's coming your way, and he got it.
Yeah.
And here we go with the PAT. Rick, walk me through this.
Well,
I'm kidding.
I don't know what to expect now. They tried to.
I know you're gonna.
Let's see.
You're gonna tell me something, but I'm
see
still.
If they're gonna kick.
Oh,
there
hey,
you
look
go.
at this! Look at this!
They finally got the count right.
Here comes the PAT, and it's Christopher Budak. I'm sorry, Fabian Guillen.
Nice snap.
That ball is up and through, and it was within a razor-thin margin of being blocked. They came at it hard. And roughing the kicker. Well, they were so close to blocking that, and they were coming at it so fast and so hard, it's impossible to pull back. And I believe they thought they had it. They did not get the block, but they hit the kicker. It's going to be enforced on the kickoff. Yikes.
Yeah.
Boy, what a quick reversal of fortune right now for Frontier.
It was. It looked like they had a nice return by J.J. Flores out midfield.
Right.
Bring it back. Pick 6. Now we got a ball game.
So we are in the third quarter now. 21-19, a nice football game. 2 really well-coached programs. They know each other well. You know the storyline that we've opened up the evening with. Coach Bandy, an assistant under Coach Manning, takes over the Frontier program. And now the coaching staff for Ridgeview out there meeting with special teams at the 50-yard line. The vociferous effort out there by the coaching staff.
Well, I got a feeling they're not going to kick it to number 1, J.J. Flores. What do you think?
I would think that was part of the discussion taking place by the assistant coaching staff and letting them know there's one guy we don't want to have the football. They're both dangerous, but don't kick it to number 1.
Now, the last time this happened in the second quarter, we kick it in the end zone, gave Frontier the ball in the 20. That's probably the smart move.
So now they'll march off the yardage and, just to Rick's point, maybe just boot this thing away. If you look at return yards, Kyle's put together some serious stats here for me. And Watts is the main guy for returning. And Flores is the one they're concerned about now. So, boy, you talk about options. So Guillen will put it up. 10.5 left here in the third quarter, just underway. Puts a full foot on it. Does he get it out? And he does. All right, so.
Touchback, 1st and 10 for Frontier at the Titans' 20-yard line.
BCHS, Garces had their first big game of the year against each other. The Mission Bowl, they say. We had, Liberty hosting a team from Fresno. BHS took on Edison in week 1. Really, nothing. There was no unearthing of any really big secrets or big surprises that came out of week 1. And then we had this discombobulation of a week 2, no games because of the heat. So we're seeing teams tonight that haven't played as much as they normally would play. I know that West High School was 2 weeks without a football game, so 14 days. Pretty clean football game so far tonight, though. Montano, hard count. Nobody jumps from Ridgeview. Johnson gets the handoff, and he goes down to the far hash. But you can see Montano really, aggressively calling that cadence, and he didn't get anybody this time.
Yeah. He may be saving it when they get down a little closer, maybe to 3rd and 4 or something, and bring it back out of his bag of tricks.
Josh.
He might be a little gun-shy now, too, from that pick 6.
Ethan Young breaks out of the huddle. He comes down here to the near side right below us, the receiver on the 20-yard line. Montano in the shotgun. Hands it to Johnson.
Ty Johnson again.
Still on his feet. And he gets up to about the 18-yard line. I'm sorry, the 28-yard line.
Good D up front by Ridgeview.
Here we go, 3rd and 3.
So now you've got that 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. Now you watch that long count. Let's see if Ridgeview falls for it again. What do you think?
I don't want to say yes and infer that I'm hoping they do. I don't have a pick in this, but do I believe it's possible based on the success that Montano has had? Yes. How's that for a?
Yeah.
How's that? Should I run for president?
Yeah.
Here's a shotgun. Oh, a big, strong run for Johnson. Oh, goodness. That is a huge, big chunk of yards. First down.
Up to about the 45.
Johnson right now has got to be one of your front runners for that player of the game.
Tony's Pizza player of the game already thrown out by Rick Van Horn to Ty Johnson, but
I said front runner.
Well, it's chalk, baby. It's chalk. He is playing well right now. He is playing really well. They may go to him again here on 1st and 10. High snap, but they do. But Ridgeview does a great job of getting in there and got through the gap, did what he had to do, and a big stop.
Ruben Cruz coming up with a takedown.
Nice job by Cruz. That's Ruben Cruz with the tackle, number 33. And he came from the Mike Backer spot to grab that. 8:20 to go here in the third quarter. 21-19. Really nice football game Frontier's putting together. Misdirection play that ends up in the hands of Connor Getman, and that's a big loss. Loss of another 3 yards, so that should bring up 3rd and 17, right around there.
This could be a big momentum break for Ridgeview. They're still down 2. Pick 6 first series. If they can hold him here, get the ball back, and put up a score.
The pendulum may swing, eh?
Yeah.
Well, 3rd and 16. We'll see if Montano tries to get back a couple of them on a hard count. Looks back for a second and talks to TJ. Say, this is a play. Strong left side. Receivers over there as well.
3rd and 16.
Look for the big tight end. Yep.
They toss it out. They throw it out, and it is dropped. It was intended for Shelton, the big tight end, but he lost his footing right as the ball was at its apex, so they were going 2 different ways. The ball was going up. He was going down. Incomplete. Pretty close to completion.
It was. DB fell down there, and that's a tall DB there for Ridgeview, but that's a good break for Ridgeview. Now it's forcing the punt, getting the ball back.
Tanner Neal will punt, and deep. Elijah Alexander Williams. We know all about him already.
I think Alexander thinks Matt Darr's punting. I don't know. He's back about 60 yards. He needs to scoot up in the ball game a little bit.
A perfect snap. Here comes the punt. Not a bad one.
Beautiful.
It's going to be taken by DeGraffenried. DeGraffenried looking for
got
blocks.
the corner.
He's got some wall. He's got the wall. He's got the wall. He's going to make a move.
Well, we talked about momentum. No flags. I don't see any.
Some nice blocking. Everybody played their role. Sometimes you'll see a clip block in the back. Didn't happen. And Dalen DeGraffenried, just like that, hauls it in, and it's a 70-yard touchdown.
It's the Dalen D show here in the third quarter.
Well, I think we got a new front runner maybe. A pick six now, a punt return.
Brought that in at the 30, and he just started galloping, and the Ridgeview punt return team set that wall up so perfectly, no one could penetrate it. Then it's DeGraffenried down at about the 20-yard line. All he has to do with his skill set, make a hard jab to the left, cut back to the middle, and it's over. And now the Wolfpack looking to go for two. The score right now is 25-21. Wolfpack up 4. Hinzo brings him in. He's behind center. He looks, rolls to his right, looks for options, throws across his body, and a nice job and broken up down there by Jacob Gomez. So a 25-21 4-point lead. 7:05 remain in the third quarter, and we'll stay here. Give me an opportunity to thank, of course, Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, U.S. Army, PAV Solar and Communication, Premier Lighting, Tony's Pizza, and Raymond's Trophies, and the Tony's Pizza player of the game. 2 minutes ago, Rick was leaning towards the great Ty Johnson, and now all of a sudden DeGraffenried's had the last 3 minutes all to himself. You never know.
It's close. It's close.
The beautiful yellow moon coming up over Bear Mountain. A few nights ago, it was that full September moon. Rick, did you watch the eclipse?
No, I didn't. I didn't get to. Although I had to stay in class. I know some of my students were able to watch it, which was good.
Rick Van Horn, BHS Driller, BC Renegade, UNLV Running Rebel. Great to have you here. What were you going to say?
I said you can see the atmosphere on this. We're on the Ridgeview side here, and you can see the atmosphere kind of picking up over here.
Erica McCall here tonight in the stands. Going to be playing her basketball over in Hungary. I'm jealous. What a great jazz scene in Budapest. Kevin, can you imagine going to Budapest in the fall? Here's the kickoff, bobbled by Watts. An incredible play by the kickoff team. The Wolfpack all over it. Now all of a sudden you have seen major shift in vibrations here over at Wolfpack Field, and it's all about Ridgeview right now.
It is, and it's crunch time here for Frontier. They got to answer back if they want to stay in this game.
And there's a lot of time, 6:58 left in the third quarter. So we'll see what Coach Bandy can dial up, not just X's and O's, but his intuition of what it tells him with these kids of his.
You know, his last two passes, one pick six, and of course the overthrow by the tight end. But let's see if they come. I don't think they're going to throw it too much down here.
Johnson with the carry, and he breaks out of there, gets to about the 12-yard line. A really good first down run, about 7 yards. Should bring up 2nd and 3. Boy, that's exactly what Frontier needed on that first down.
Yes, it is. Staying ahead of the chains, that's big for any offense. Never want to chase them.
2 receivers on the bottom of your screen, right side of the line of scrimmage. Offensive line doing a nice job up there, creating some nice seams and some nice gaps, and they give it to Ty Johnson. And TJ
Inside the 20-yard line, putting his head down.
picks up another first down. They have options. They've got things that they can do out there, but the necessity to get that ball out of that deep territory and chew up some time right now, I think is, pretty much calling the plays for itself. 1st and 10.
Well, the good thing for Frontier, it's not a moment to panic. You're only down by 4. You got 6 minutes left in the third quarter. There's plenty of time, plenty of football left.
Flag on this play here, Rick. And the body language and the direction that players are going, it makes me think it's going to be on Frontier. Long discussion.
After 3 carries in a row, it looked like Johnson tapped out there. He's going to take a break on the sideline.
5:55 in the third. The score is 25-21 right now, Ridgeview. And another discussion with the officials. What's the call? Oh. Personal foul.
Personal foul against Frontier.
Against the Titans. That moves the ball back even further. So all of this progress they've made on this drive completely chopped off.
A lot of hard work by Johnson now just gets erased, and he's probably going, Jesus, guys, help me out a little bit.
Well, yeah, I'm sure it is. Kevin makes a great point. All of a sudden, does it wear on the psyche of these Frontier players as much as it does the body? On the road, Rick?
What, the big penalty, having a good drive, they get a first down, some good yardage, some hard yardage, and then having it come back.
And dig deep again and lay the pads on them again. It's a pass play. Montano in trouble, gets out of trouble, but then gets back into it. So, a flag on the play at the very end. And flags are flying tonight. And the white
they're going
hat.
to call face masking, but the
white hat threw it, and he was right, literally 5 feet away from it. Montano was in trouble, slipped out of one tackle, but then gets buried in another one. Of course, Pierre Morrison has something to do with it, and they are going to call face masking on the Wolfpack. So they grab Montano's face mask at the very end of the play. First and 12. Looks way more like 1st and 15. The scoreboard says 12. I'll say 15. 2 receivers set, split way out on each side. Montano, hard count. This time, hands the ball off to Clayton Kyle. So Clayton Kyle gets the carry over here to the near side.
So he's about the 4th back we've seen.
Yeah.
We've seen Ty Johnson,
Ernest
JJ,
Jackson.
Ernest Jackson, and now Kyle.
Getman's carried it too.
Yeah. Now, I don't know why they only use the big boy in power eye situations. He's not, Johnson goes out. Of course, Johnson's your number 1 guy, but the big boy's not a bad backup.
2nd down and 10 for Frontier.
Now Ben Watts is back there with him in the backfield. Montano gives it to Watts. No, this is Clayton Kyle.
Clayton, number 9, off the handoff of Montano.
They give it to Clayton Kyle, the 5'8", 155-pound junior, and he did some heavy work.
Well, you got the first down. That's all that counts. Keep the chains moving.
And that Ridgeview offense, chomping at the bit, hasn't been on the field in a long time. A pick 6 wasn't their offense that did that, and they weren't on long. The punt return touchdown. So, Rick, you're looking at a nice, strong run play again. You're looking at this Ridgeview offense. They want to get on the football field.
Yeah, it's going to be a while, though, because it looks like Frontier's got that power running game going, and despite the setbacks, they're still moving the ball.
The pick six interception touchdown by DeGraff and Reed, the 70-yard punt return by DeGraff and Reed has ill-intendedly kept the offense off the field for Ridgeview, and they're chomping at the bit to play. Another handoff inside to Clayton Kyle. And on a 2nd and 4, he gets 3. And game number 2 for the KernHighNetwork.com live streaming efforts tonight. It is over in Shafter. And the Generals and Coach Perucci with a 42-6 win. Coach Engel going to work that program back into legitimacy over there at Foothill High School.
Oh, big stop by Ridgeview.
There he is, Pierre Morrison, pick number 44.
Pierre Morrison, you know, he's making some great plays tonight, but he makes a couple boneheads because that was his face mask penalty that cost him 5 down here in the red zone.
He is not hard to spot on that football field. He's right in front of us right now, the left end, number 44, and that brings up a 4th and 3. That's a huge play. Stops the drive, and with 2:22 left in the third, Ridgew's going to have to punt this football away. And we know what happened last time that ball floated up there. It was returned all the way back to pay dirt. This time, DeGraff and Reed stands at his own 25-yard line.
4th and 3 for Frontier. Running away. Hang time, other side.
Big high punt, bounces, and goes out of bounds at the 34-yard line.
It'll be first down, Wolfpack.
Into the game, East and Miramonte. East with the win, 36-0. We will be at Highland next week, the Blades and the Highland Scots. We're going to be going to Scotland Yard.
Who's in the house?
That'd be nice. Another nice game.
I said, who's in the house?
1:57 remains here in the third quarter. 25-21. Now Ridgeview has the ball on offense. Titans going to have to dig in here and
The ball carrier up to about the
make a stand because Ridgeview's up 4. Week 3 high school football here in Kern County. We're at Ridgeview High School. You're watching all of this on KernHighNetwork.com. You can tweet at us right now at KHSD Athletics. Get on Facebook. Let's have some fun tonight. Handoff in between the hash marks. They give it to Elijah Alexander Williams, some awfully talented running backs on both sides of the football tonight.
He is, and I talked about him getting, you know, I didn't think Frontier was going to be able to contain him all night long, and to my dismay, they're doing a good job.
3rd and 2. Ridgeview with under a minute to go and counting, 54 seconds in this third quarter. Henzo looks at everybody up front. Frontier gives that look that they're going to bring everybody, but it's one-on-one on the top. They decide to keep it in the ground. Big, strong run right up the middle. Alexander Williams picks up the first down, but they did have a matchup up top with Nick Edwards one-on-one. Keep that in mind. Put that in your memory bank.
Yeah. Both these teams, if you notice, they're playing a lot of man coverage. Kenny Haslip, ex-USC DB, coaches DBs for Frontier. It looks like this is Shannon Edwards down here, former Fresno State DB. So,
some great coaching.
Yeah.
So I hand off into Frontier territory.
On a 1st and 10, they stay on the ground.
Which was found near the press box here on the Ridgeview side. Bobby
and those are two guys that like to play man coverage.
Really likes to work out, which I can't say for everybody around me.
Penalty on Frontier. It's going to be first down and 3.
Face masking penalty against Frontier.
5-yard face mask penalty. Fresno Central puts Liberty away 30-3.
Wow. Wow.
30-3, Central beats Liberty. And at the end of the third quarter, Arroyo Grande leads Independence 17-3. Here's a pass play to the far side up there. So Central with a 30-3 win over Liberty tonight. Your thoughts?
Wow.
At Central.
Wow. You know, Liberty, after last week and BHS losing to Orem, you know, Liberty naturally goes to the #1 team here in Kern County, but then this happens. And football's good around the valley. You've got Clovis West, you've got Liberty, you've got Bakersfield. There's going to be some battles here in the playoffs.
I think Central's mad at all of Kern County for losing the Valley Championship, so they've got an axe to grind, and they're grinding it well right now. Fumble! Ball's on the ground. Fumble! Miles Eddington was in the process of being tackled, and before he goes down, the ball is punched out, recovered by Frontier. Oh, man. Midfield, DeGraff and Reed had been their uber option for a while, but they put it in the hands of Eddington, and the ball gets coughed up. 1st and 10 Frontier, and that'll do it. We're at the end of the third quarter. We will step away for a moment. Right now, 25-21, Ridgeview up over.
Every team trains hard. Every team prepares to win. But when U.S. Army soldiers take the field, it's best if the other guys don't bother showing up. See if you have what it takes at goarmy.com/team.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I'm a traditional banker. I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
As a millennial, for me, it's all about the mobile.
And I'm somewhere in between. I still do everything online or through an ATM.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. That's why we're the #1 financial institution in all of Kern County.
Take advantage of our low mortgage rates, including 60-day rate lock and no cost to you. Purchase or refinance your home today.
Kern Schools, together we have something special.
Start of the fourth quarter. Vance Palm, Rick Van Horn here for KernHighNetwork.com, live streaming high school sports here in Kern County. Pleasure to have everybody with us as we go into the fourth quarter. Really nice football game. 1st and 10, Frontier. Power formation in the backfield. And they just gun it right up the middle of the hash mark for about a 7-yard run. And this time, and Rick, now they go to Kobe Budak. So now they're another running back as we have a Wolfpack player down. First play of the fourth quarter, the score 25-21, Ridgeview. But for a good chunk of time, it was Frontier that was up. So,
well, it's almost, Frontier won that second quarter. Ridgeview won this third quarter. Now it's up in the air.
Well, and it's going to be an exciting 11:48 left. Here are some scores around the valley. Centennial Golden Hawks in the third quarter, they're up 21-10 over the Bulldogs of Golden Valley. We just told you the Fresno Central score. They defeated Liberty 1-2, the two top teams, but Fresno Central with a 27-point win, 30-3. Ridgeview, this game right now, 25-21, you're watching. Bakersfield Christian 14, Tulare Mission Oak 0, so 14-0 lead. Stockdale 28-0 over Atascadero. And up on the hill right now, fourth quarter action, Garces 14, Tehachapi 21. West up over Chavez right now in the third quarter, 24-21. Arroyo Grande up over Independence in the third quarter, 17-3. And Highland in the fourth quarter, 34-14 over Kennedy right now. Thank you, Todd. Appreciate that. 2nd and 5 for Frontier. And they hand it to the big boy. He gets whacked a couple times, but he's able to hang on to the ball. And Brandon Hodges came in and tried to knock that ball loose. But I'll tell you what, Connor Getman at 6'2", 210. Whew.
Looks like we've got a new quarterback for Frontier, number 10.
Ethan Young, the 5'11", 150-pound senior, played some receiver already tonight.
It looks like he runs a little bit better than the Montanio.
Let's see. 3rd and 4, and motion on the offensive line. And you've got a different caller, different cadence, different rhythm, different sound. But you still have the same defensive front to deal with. And offsides. And that's going to move the ball back and make it 3rd and 9 now, Coach. Changes just like that.
It does. Now, let's see. This kid may have to put it in the air.
From 3rd and 4 to 3rd and 9 with 10:58 remaining here in the 4th quarter. Young. They hand it to Johnson, and they're able to contain him. So the fumble recovery for the Titans essentially has them right where they started, right at midfield after a discombobulated series, and they're going to have to punt the football away. So we're not able to capitalize.
You know, this whole game, both teams have had started out each series run game, good run games, good gains, and all of a sudden, about that second first down, that 20 yards, they start bogging down and things just fall apart.
Low snap. Oh, a nice boomer. They got it. And it bounces at the 20 and keeps going. So a really nice punt for Tanner Neal, and that pins Ridgeview way back there. And we're under the 10-minute mark now here at Ridgeview High School, week 3 of Kern County High School football.
At the 11-yard line.
Don't forget, we're going to give out the Tony's Pizza Player of the Game, and it's anybody's right now, Coach. Anybody could get that. Well, not anybody, but there's about 4 different guys that could get that pizza. And the T-shirt.
Is that
and
what
the
you're
gift
thinking?
certificate. Well, yeah, really, I am. Yeah, Ty Johnson's up there. You've got DeGraff and Reed.
You like 44. You like Pierre Morrison.
Hey, Pierre's not. He's not out of the voting here. Here's a run play. They give it to, I think,
Alexander Williams.
Nice run by number 6, Elijah Alexander Williams.
Yep.
Ridgeview.
Yep.
Got a 5-yard
That's quite a mouthful to say after he's going to carry the ball 20 times tonight.
Yeah. And we're going to be calling his name for 2 more years.
5, Ridgeview. At the 16-yard line, right hash mark.
2nd and 5. Hinzo hands the ball off again to Alexander Williams. Flag on the play at the 20.
This might be against Ridgeview.
Nice cutback flag is down, though.
We just talked about it.
Because across the 20-yard line.
Get some momentum, some good runs, and then you shoot yourself in the foot.
Holding. Wow.
Against the PAT.
A holding call. Coach Manning flummoxed at best. Flummoxed. Kevin's grinning at my use of the word flummoxed. Because the holding call is just in not one of those orthodox areas of the football field. So Coach Manning thinking, looking for an explanation, but the explanation he gets is visual. The football going backwards by the official. So each team have been giving the other opportunities, Rick, to not only stay in this thing, but get the win here with 9 minutes and 6 seconds to go here on KernHighNetwork.com. More one-on-one coverage, more one-on-one matchups, but they decide to keep it right between the hash marks on the ground. We dip below 9 minutes now. And that's going to bring up 3rd and let's just go ahead and say 10. Back to the original line of scrimmage.
I think they'll keep it on the ground here and just hope for the best and punt it away and play some defense.
Edwards on J.J. Flores. What a matchup that is on the top of your screen. They go to the air, or do they? Fumble! Ball's on the ground. Oh, goodness. Oh, man, was he going to throw or was it a draw?
It looked like some kind of draw there.
Woo,
I
goodness.
believe.
That ball was on the ground around the 6-yard line. Everybody from Ridgeview just took a collective gasp and a sigh, like, what in the world? So that did not work out well for Ridgeview.
No, but they dodged the bullet. Ball was on the ground, and they got on it.
Ben Watts stands inside Ridgeview territory. His heels are about on the 45-yard line, so any kind of a low punt here.
And they're going to have great field position.
No matter what.
After this punt. Oh.
We have stoppage of play, and it looks like a timeout.
Frontier's got 12 guys on the field.
All right. You know what? We'll take a quick break. We'll be back right after this on KernHighNetwork.com.
Every team trains hard. Every team prepares to win. But when U.S. Army soldiers take the field, it's best if the other guys don't bother showing up. See if you have what it takes at goarmy.com/team.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I'm a traditional banker. I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
As a millennial, for me, it's all about the mobile.
And I'm somewhere in between. I still do everything online or through an ATM.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is
Welcome back, everybody. Vance and Rick. And it's a 4th and 10, and Ridgeview pinned deep in their own end zone. This punt's got to get up. It's a low one. It's a low one. And it's taken. Watts misses one tackle, but he's in trouble. So still good field position, but a nice, good bounce for the Ridgeview punt. Or that could have been really, really good field position for Frontier. But again, they started almost every drive in really, really good field position. But tonight, at this time, right now, 7:25 in the 4th, they trail by 4. They need to make it happen. It can't just be a field goal.
It is. Ridgeview did a good job there. They got a good break, good bounce on that. You know, we were looking for them to get the ball maybe on the 35 going in, but got a good bounce. Looks like they're going with the senior quarterback this series.
Ethan Young back behind center. Power formation. Everybody tucked in tight.
There's the runner.
And here's Young. He cuts back upfield. Quarterback takes it up to about the 47-yard line inside Ridgeview territory. We're going to dip below the 7-minute mark here in about 10 seconds. So this is the defining drive of tonight's game right here.
Well, we talked about last series that it looks like Ethan Young's a much better runner than Montanio was. So that may be a factor.
2nd and 5. Ball inside Ridgeview territory. Oh, goodness. What a stop by Pierre Morrison. Pierre Morrison, everybody, number 44. I don't have his. What's his size?
Doesn't say. Doesn't say in the program, but he's probably 6'3", 225.
Yeah, number 44. He plays left defensive end, and he just manhandled the run play right there. The entire team of Frontier, and he's looking for more. 3rd and 4. Young wants to throw, drops back, has a man, just no time.
Great pressure. Montana going down.
For a moment, he had Colton Baker, but just no possible way he was going to get that throw off. A big sack, and that's going to bring up 4th and awfully long, and under 6 to go. They still have to punt this football away. Just too much time and too much distance on a 4th down.
Well, they had max protection. They had a one-man route, so it makes it tough on the quarterback. But with max protection, quarterback shouldn't be getting dirty.
Quickly they got to him, and leading the way, Pierre Morrison. Here's the punt. Perfect snap. Not a bad one. Let's see where the bounce takes it, and a really nice punt. Goes out at the 18-yard line. No possible way there was going to be any kind of a return on Tanner Neal's punt. Great job, young man. Next week, a week from tonight, game 1, Rick Van Horn and myself will be up on the east side. The East Side Blades at Scotland Yard will be there. Game 2 will be Kyle Wiley, play-by-play. Who's your partner? And Coach Cornford. And you will have Miramonte at Arvin. Man, I should try to make a couple phone calls and get you guys set up. You know, like when the production team comes, you give them food and sandwiches and burritos and just get them all lined up. I'll try to do that for you guys at Arvin so I can pull some strings. Here we go. 1st and 10, 5:21 left. Ridgeview, can they just kill out the clock, gather some yardage, and put the win in the books? Let's see. Flag instantly.
Wow.
Second man through, A.A. Williams.
The white hat behind the line of scrimmage threw that quickly. That thing was a bullet, like a yard dart, man. That thing just came flying. Holding on Ridgeview. Stops the clock.
That was actually a nice first down run by Alexander Williams, and then it gets negated.
Don't forget, we'll be awarding our Tony's Pizza Player of the Game at the end of the game. I have 33%, Kevin Willie has 33%, and Rick Van Horn has 34%. First and 20. 5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Hensel rolls out to Graffenried. Hits it. Big, hard hit. Goes down at the 20-yard line. And he was hit high, low, and in between. Still hangs onto the football. 4:50 to go. But Ridgeview needs to chomp up some more yards here before they can ice this thing.
Man, the more I see this Henzo throw the ball, the more I'm impressed. And only a sophomore. He threw a dart there.
Quarterback family. 4.5 left here. Henzo drops back, draw play. And he hands the ball off to Alexander Williams. A little too close for comfort there on the handoff. Didn't get that separation, and therefore Alexander Williams couldn't really get his engine revved up there. Third and 5, Rick.
Well, this is where you need one of those long counts. Some free yardage, huh?
Haven't seen Henzo do it yet. Might be just the perfect time for him. No, he takes the snap directly. Has some time, throws it out, and I think that is incomplete. It hits the ground, so all of a sudden it's 4th and 5, and Ridgeview, no question about it, has to punt.
A diving attempt on the far side.
Hey.
4th down coming up. Good defensive series by Punt.
He had Eddington wide open and a little closer. That's a long throw when you're throwing from the hash to the far out there.
Our viewers have watched a really close football game. This thing has not been in any way stretch of the imagination a one-sided affair, and it's flip-flopped a couple of times. And do we have a timeout? Yes, we do have a timeout on the field. 3:47 left, 25-21, Ridgeview up. So a timeout's being taken.
This is the second timeout they've wasted on a punt return. Remember the last time they called timeout, they had 12 guys on the field. Early in the season, that's going to happen.
Bakersfield College Renegades tomorrow night, 6 o'clock kickoff. They are at Chaffee. You ever play against Chaffee back in the days?
No, never did.
I played some basketball against them. I think I might have played baseball against them. Chaffee College, right up, nestled up along the hills off the 210 by San Bernardino. A scoreless third quarter between Centennial and Golden Valley. Still 21-10 Golden Hawks, and they are driving at the Bulldogs' 44-yard line. Here come the Golden Hawks. Templeton 30, Kern Valley 15. That is a final. Templeton.
J.J. Flores back deep for Punt.
All right, here we go. Back to our game. Ridgeview leads by 24-21. What are you pointing at, Coach?
They've got Flores back returning.
The speedster, and he's got
That's
time.
a good kick.
Can he haul it in? Oh, what a beauty. The fastest dude in Kern County couldn't get on it because the punt was fantastic.
Well, what a time. What a time to get a good kickoff.
3.5 left here in the fourth quarter. And Frontier brings their offense out onto the football field, and they have not scored since the last play of the first half, which was a short yardage Hail Mary, if you will. It wasn't a 50-yard bomb, but it was hauled in, and the PAT put them at 21, but they haven't been around that end zone since. It's been a long time.
Well, they've got a quarterback change here again. Montanio's back in the game.
Montanio back at QB. Ball's at the 35-yard line. 65 yards to pay dirt, and they're down 4, so they have to get in. Coach Bandy probably very pleased with a lot of elements of this football team's presentation tonight, but right now it's just all about get us to that end zone if you can do it. They put it in Johnson's hands, and a big open field tackle out there.
Wow, Eddie Jackson.
Where's he been?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy sometimes at a sporting event you don't hear anybody's name all night, and then bam, a huge play right there, because I got to tell you, if Ty Johnson gets going early in this drive, chops up 18, 15 yards, next thing you know, something to worry about. So a big play out there by EJ.
Well, Eddie's dad never tackled like that, I tell you. Eddie Jackson, the former driller. Eddie Jackson Sr.
2nd and 10. Montanio wants to throw, has a lot of time, has his man, it's open. Flores, you're not going to catch him.
Jay Flores will take it to the house. Post pattern, touchdown, Frontier.
Montanio to Flores, we talked about it.
Flores gets behind the defense, and the speed is all that he needs. Touchdown, excessive celebration call at the end of the play on Frontier. 27-25 right now. So they'll kick the PAT, and from what we've seen, so far from Tanner Neal, it's been nice. Wow, Rick. What a football game.
Wow. Well, we know now that J.J. Flores is a game breaker.
Excessive celebration will be tacked on the kickoff. Our game 1 of this season. Liberty hanging on for dear life
against Clovis West.
And Clovis West comes rolling back at the end of the game. We're just almost in near disbelief. And the excessive celebration call moved the field goal back. And next thing you know, they missed it, and Liberty wins by 1.
Wow.
Just dodging overtime by just a short distance. Explaining that it'll be.
I didn't get that last point there.
They're going to make it on the kickoff.
Yeah.
We'll lay it on them on the kickoff. Exciting ball game here, and how about up in Tehachapi? Going into overtime, tied up 21-21 with Garces. Here's a big one here to make it a 3-point ball game. The snap, the hold, the kick. It's up and it's nice. 28-25, 28-25. Frontier up by 3. And if there are still games going on around Kern County when this score gets announced, you'll get some oohs. You'll get a couple oohs and ahs. I mean, this is not like, fall off the couch shocker, but it's an impressive showing for Coach Bandy and his Titans. Lucky enough to have Rick Van Horn with us on these live streaming presentations. One of the local czars of football, whether it's high school, college, arena. Let's not forget about Rick's coaching career, the Bakersfield Blitz, and then you're kind of in the gate one of the Kentucky Derby, if you will, of every arena bowl that we have, high school arena bowl, and be involved in so much of it. So, Rick, when I walk around these stadiums or down on the field and pregame with you, it's always a pleasure and a joy to be with someone that's so connected, so well respected. Appreciate that. Centennial 28, Golden Valley 10, about 9 minutes to play. Will Alexander had a 2-yard quarterback sneak on a 3rd and goal for the latest TD. So, thank you, Todd. .244 officially left in the 4th quarter. Listen to this crowd. And that's the crowd that's down by 3. You go across the way, and that Frontier crowd is pumped. That marching band needs no introduction. They're on it.
Ridgeview should get some good field position here.
Yeah, that excessive celebration, boy. Woo.
And if they end up scoring on that, it's going to come back to haunt them, isn't it?
Well, now you've got DeGraffenried standing at the 25-yard line, and I don't know if that ball will even reach him. He may have a chance to run up on it. Chris Thompson on the top of the field. 2:42 left in this game that we're getting news on. North High School has 40, Wasco 16. So looks like North's getting back into a groove. They were struggling early.
It is. They've got a couple kids. They've got 2 wideouts. Getting Johnson and Boggs, I believe, are very good players.
So as much foot as he can put into it,
he
does.
Geez.
He does. Oh, goodness. They get the excessive celebration. And did he fall down? The coaching staff wants to say he went down. So DeGraffenried in big trouble. That play had everything in it. Can you believe the kickoff was marked back 15 yards and they still got it over the return man's head, and it gets to the 1-yard line. He almost got tagged for a safety.
Just a special teams mistake there by Ridgeview.
Oh, boy.
Jeez.
The Frontier crowd was looking for DeGraffenried, who went down. They thought he went down on his knee at the goal line.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
That puts Ridgeview in a hole there.
This is going to be fun here. 2:37 with Ridgeview now on the 8-yard line. 1st and 10. Edwards up top. Fumble!
Like a fumble in the backfield.
Ooh, ball on the ground. Looks like Ridgeview gets it. So a lot of excitement here in this Week 3 game here on KernHighNetwork.com. Hope you're tweeting at us. I know Kyle's tweeting at KHSD Athletics.
Well, let's see if Frontier loosens up their coverage a little bit. They were a little tight that last play, and Ridgeview does have some guys that can run on the outside.
Grant Lee comes in.
Comes on the throw.
And it was intended out there for Chris Thompson, but not only was the pass a little low, Chris Thompson, he saw some guys coming. He said, oh, man. That ball was thrown out into the Badlands. And just like that, it's 3rd and 13. 1:51 remains here in the 4th quarter. Hinzo behind center. Pressure moments, 3rd and 13. He looks right, then left, has a man. Oh, and it's dropped. It would have been a huge first down and a lot more. DeGraffenried. He had his hands up instead of the basket.
Yep.
And he would have been gone for at least another 20 yards. That was huge. And now, Coach, you have 4th and 13 with 1:46, and they have to punt the football away.
4th and 14 on your own 4-yard line. That should seal it. That should seal it. Don't even send anybody back.
Let's just give Hinzo credit, though. He put that right on the money.
Yeah. Do not even touch that kicker.
Bad snap. Oh, he scoops it up.
Gets it out.
And it bounces backwards, and now all of a sudden it's going to be 1st and 10 for Frontier at the Ridgeview 26-yard line.
Frontier, Ridgeview, 2 timeouts left, so basically Frontier can basically take a knee and run this one out.
It's a final, North 40 over Wasco, 16. And this one not over yet, but with a $1.50 left, and Frontier gets the long touchdown pass into the hands of J.J. Flores. And then with the excessive celebration, they had to kick off way back over here, and we're thinking, okay, Ridgeview's going to get either really good field position or even better. They're going to be able to run up on the kick, maybe get some forward momentum, some forward progress. But no, a deep kickoff into the corner, and now Frontier has an opportunity to notch a really, really important signature win for Coach Bandy in his first year.
Nice push by the O-line. Montano with a
You know, they snuck little Flores, they snuck him down to a wing, and he double moved him, went out to the post, and of course with his speed, there's nobody on Ridgeview's squad that can keep up with him.
A timeout on the field. We cannot announce the Tony's Pizza player of the game yet because this thing is not over yet. If this score was a little bit different and we had a gap and we knew it was in the books, maybe we could start talking about it, but we don't want to jinx it with only a field goal difference. And a minute 24, we've seen crazier things happen here. So some of our front runners, obviously Ty Johnson, one of our front runners there. Also one of our front runners, J.J. Flores, of course, had some big contributions tonight. Game's not over. So we don't want to do any vexing on anybody. I'm Vance Palm, got Rick Van Horn next to me, Kyle Wiley, Kevin Willie, and of course, Todd Bentley flooding me with information. The unofficial SID of our gig tonight. Okay, Frontier. Just take care of the football if it's the Titans. They try to jam it up the middle, and clock continues to tick. And right now, if you're the Bandy coaching staff, you're saying, fellas, no flags, nothing. Let's let this thing roll out. And that would be the last timeout, I believe, called by Coach Manning.
I believe so.
Next week, you and I are going to be up on the east side, Scotland Yard.
Yeah. That's going to be a grudge match, Battle of the East Side.
Coach Fanucci.
You know, that was a great game last year. East Side came out on top, and if you haven't been to one of those, it's a good, exciting atmosphere.
And you know, Rick, all these schools do a great job. Every time we come to a school, they do a phenomenal job of welcoming us and hosting it, and they all do a great job of putting on their Friday night experience. Scotland Yard, no difference up in the east side. Highland, their crowd is always into it. Incredible food, incredible atmosphere, the band. It's going to be a fun time. That's where Rick and I will be next week. We will be at Highland High School. Kyle and Coach Cornford will be out at Arvin, Miramonte at Arvin. And we want to thank Steve Holmes, the principal, Drew Parker, the assistant principal of instruction, Kendra Weiser, assistant principal of administration, Mark Thompson, athletic director at Ridgeview. Thank you for everything you've done here tonight. And Jose Valadez, the activity director. Here we go on a 3rd and 5. A handoff and nothing doing. Didn't go anywhere, but the clock operator or the scoreboard manipulator is not subtracting timeouts. So that is not the case for Ridgeview. I think that's got to be their last one. But it says they have 2 more. That's going to be their last time out there. But that gives me an opportunity to thank the principal at Frontier High School, Vicki Thompson, the assistant principal of instruction, Carla Stallworth, the assistant principal of administration, Dustin Green, the athletic director for Frontier High School, Mike Gibson, and the activity director, Lisa Bolton. Mike Gibson's daughter, Mallory, coaching at Stanislaus State now. the former Foothill Trojan powerhouse and went to University of Colorado, then UOP, and had a great chance to see her sister, Melanie Gibson, coaching the other evening for Highland High School, 3 years in a row, league champs. So the bloodlines and the name association in Kern High School sports, second to none. Okay, Coach, I would think that that's a 0 and not an 8 on the scoreboard for timeouts remaining for Ridgeview. This is it with 1:05 left.
I don't know. I thought they had 2, and then that was their third they just took. So I don't know what to think now.
4th and 4, 1:05. So Frontier, power formation standing behind quarterback Ethan Young. Nobody jumping, nobody doing anything. They hand the ball to Johnson. And look at this! And look at this! Johnson says, enough. Game over. Touchdown.
Touchdown, Frontier.
So the only hope Ridgeview had left was to stop that play, get the ball back. But Ty Johnson hammers his way through the defensive line and burst into the end zone. They put the wrong score up there, but it should be 34-25. 34-25. Frontier. Wow.
Tanner Neal's on the PAT for Frontier.
Here's the PAT. It's up and it is through. And Frontier now. Frontier. 35-25. And Tehachapi beats Garces in overtime. Up on the hill, so the new coaching regime at Tehachapi gets a win. Garces, another tough loss. So the score at this time, Frontier 35, Ridgeview 25, a 10-point lead.
45-25 in favor of Frontier.
So I think we can officially discuss the Tony's Pizza player of the game.
Well, let's see what Mr. Wiley thinks.
Kevin?
I think I'm going to go with, and how come his name? Johnson. I think I was at the last minute, I was going to go back to number 1, the
Flores.
the runner, Flores. But with that last run, I think Johnson's been pushing through the whole game and making the yardage. And
Kevin, I agree with you there. I had J.J. Flores until that last play when Johnson broke through for a touchdown, and so I'm going with Ty Johnson.
Kyle Wiley, the pizza, the gift certificate, the T-shirt will be in your hands, and it will be delivered to the Tony's Pizza player of the game, Ty Johnson, 5'10", 190-pound senior running back for the Frontier Titans. Had a big night. You'll see his stats posted later, but it's not about the stats. Well, it is, but it's also about just the impact he had tonight's game. Here's the kickoff. And he's still on his feet, still running. What a nice, strong, powerful run down there by Chris Thompson. And with 49 seconds remaining, the game not over. But for Coach Bandy, if he can hang on for 49 more seconds, he's going to get what he'd hoped for, which was his school coming out and really performing well and making the program look good, Rick.
I'm going to throw my 2 cents in for DeGraffenry, too. He was right up there.
Yeah, it'd be remiss of us not to mention a couple of other efforts tonight. Dalen DeGraffenreid, a punt return in the third quarter for a touchdown, a beautiful punt return, a pick 6 to get Ridgeview the lead again, and we were all kind of talking about Double D, saying DeGraffenreid's the guy. And we also have Pierre Morrison, number 44, the defensive behemoth for Ridgeview. But when we get down to it, the man that carried the rock the most tonight and in the biggest situations and for the biggest first downs when they needed him the most, Coach.
I think it was unanimous.
Dead ball personal foul against Ridgeview.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Dead ball personal foul against Ridgeview. Just exactly what you don't want to see. So Ridgeview, unless they make something happen here in 49 seconds and get 10 points, will be at 1-1. They beat Stockdale. Frontier will be at 2-0. Henzo, fumble, picked up by the Titans, and it is recovered out there by Cameron Barnes, the junior. Cameron Barnes picks it up, and that is a timely fumble recovery because that is going to do it. A fumble, and the officials have thrown the flag, and another discussion down there. Let's see what this one's about. The white hat's going to pop out and let us know. Maybe after the play.
Maybe an excessive celebration again.
Wow.
The personal fouls against Frontier.
Yeah, you know what? I think you're right, Coach. I didn't see any type of physical penalty. But it may be after the fumble recovery, the Titans a little too effervescent. But that's okay. They have a 44-second clock to run down, and they're going to be 2-0 with a 10-point win over the Ridgeview Wolfpack. Now everybody knows what's happening. Just a victory formation snap. We'll get some closing thoughts from my partner, Rick Van Horn, and we'll send us off to a weekend of big football, college, pro. It's all on now. It is on.
Ohio State, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma needs to regroup real quick. Real quick.
I tell you what, Baker Mayfield, he's a delight to watch.
Sure is. Great interview, too. And they take a knee. Coach, your thoughts on this football game?
Well, you know, it was a game that we didn't know which way it was going until that fourth quarter. You know, we had one team, Frontier, won the second quarter. Ridgeview comes out, wins the third quarter, and it came down to that fourth quarter. And Frontier made the plays when they had to. And that was a good win for them. They're a team going, you know, for both these guys. Frontier now, their meat of their schedule at the end is very tough. Ridgeview has the meat of their schedule at the front of their schedule. Once they hit league, I think, you know, they're going to be okay. There are some teams that are going to battle with them. East and Independence are going to be very good, and they're going to give them a battle.
That's Rick Van Horn. Big win tonight for Coach Bandy and the Frontier Titans. It was a fun night, really good football game. We didn't know who was going to win it till the last minute, so a lot of great highlights, and Kyle Willie has flooded Twitter at KHSD Athletics. You're going to see a ton of great plays. Don't miss it there. Get us on Facebook. Go to KernHighNetwork.com. Watch the entire game in its entirety. Thanks to Todd Bentley. Thank you, buddy. Great job tonight. Appreciate everything. Our director-producer, Kyle Wiley, of course. Kevin Willie, always with us, my friend, and great colleague and great caller, Rick Van Horn, next to me. I'm Vance Palm. Have a fantastic weekend. Frontier wins on KernHighNetwork.com. Good night. God bless.